we are live, but only to us because this is not recorded in front of a live audience, thank God.
That's very true. That would...
Ding, ding, ding.
You know what I just realized?
What?
With your pink hair, you are kind of like Princess Bubblegum. And then with my plaid shirt and black hair, I look like Marceline.
Thank you
and
for this
I'm
gift.
Also a disaster gay, so...
I'm a know-it-all. Here we are. Yes. I love that so much, though. That's so cute. I need to rewatch Adventure Time.
Me too.
Some point. Yeah, if you guys are listening, hello. Hello. If you're watching our fun recorded video, hello.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, your boy dyed their hair pink, so hair is fun and pink.
Mine's just been cut and shaved.
V is the coolest kid on the block now. The bangs are cut. They're looking sick as hell. I'm 100% about it. Nice.
Thank you. I'm like, I'll leave the rest of my hair as a surprise. It's not really a surprise because I'm going to post pictures of it like immediately. But like,
it's
look at me.
Front. Party in the back.
I'm like, little boy in the front. Joan Jett wannabe in the back.
I'm about it. It's an aesthetic. I'm telling ya.
It was. Honestly, I said that to the hairstylist because I went and I was like, I'm sorry, like I just need to fix it before I go back to work. And like it's been a minute. And I was like, I want to look into a mirror from afar and be like, how did that little boy get into my house? And then when I don't have a hat on, I want to be like looking like I tried to look like an 80s rock star, but did not do as well as I hoped.
I mean, when I think of two things combined that equal you, it is those two, in fact. So
it's honestly, yeah, it's true.
It's you.
It's me. Because like she laughed and then she's like, I get it. Okay, I understand exactly what you're trying to do.
I'm so glad she do, though. It's so good. So good.
Like she laughed so hard because I'm all like, you know what? Like, let's just try it. Let's do it. Whatever you think works, whatever you think will work together. Let's go.
Let's go. All right. Well, hello, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. How are y'all? Whoa. How are you guys doing? Are you doing good? Are you listening to this in the future? Because you will be, because
in our future.
Yeah, what's the future like? Or has everything changed? Well, that was my cat. I
like that answer. That was nice, good answers.
Yeah, I imagine I always wonder, like, will people enjoy the, like, quote unquote quarantine episodes? You feel? Or they be like, this is the dark time during their podcast.
I would hope that they like it.
I feel like we did fun stories.
Yeah, and I think that also since we're quarantined, we have this chance to actually try something different. And like we're actually recording our faces, which is weird. Like it was hard for me to watch us on YouTube. Like I was like,
big mood.
Like, girl, what was I doing? Like, I was just, like, drunk. Like, I'm gonna do my nails. I'm just gonna do my nails. And I'm like, I'm not even paying attention to shit. And I'm like, yeah, that happened. Yeah. Ghosts. Okay. Tell me about these ghosts on the boat. Tell me about these motherfucking ghosts on this motherfucking boat.
I think it really, brings us closer to you guys personally, so you can see what dipshits we are sometimes.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, we're fun. We're having a good time here. It's fine.
We try.
It's great. It's great. Well, for the time travelers that aren't us, today is May 21st of 2020. So, if you recall, in a private conversation, I said, hey, would you want to record Thursday? because I have a day sensitive episode.
That is true. You did say that. And I'm like, I don't fucking know what day it is. Is this something to do with Prince?
No,
that
comes in June.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, that's soon, but not this soon. I was like, I know it's Gemini season, but I was like,
it is Gemini season. Which, side note, so guys, yesterday was Alex's birthday.
Yeah.
She is 11 hours away from being a Gemini, which is hilarious, in my opinion.
Oops, my Doritos. No, like, so you know how there's very specific types of gays out there?
Yes.
There's witch gays, pirate gays, gamer gays,
cowboy
gays, space gays. I've become an astrology gay, and so I follow a lot of astrology accounts on Twitter, and I'm like, they're posting a lot of Gemini stuff right now. I was like,
sorry, can you repeat that? I think audio cut out there for a sec. That was weird.
Oof. Well, I was saying that pretty much, like, yesterday on Alex's birthday, there was I want to put my speaker up for my headphones, but it's not working.
We had technical difficulties, but here we are.
Technical difficulties. Boom. Talking about Taurus and Geminis.
Because
I was like, I knew she was on the cusp, but I didn't realize like she was like right at the
11 hours.
It's crazy.
I'm a Leo.
I'm a Pisces sun.
You are a very much Pisces sun.
I guess. I think it's because like my moon is like how I see myself. I'm like, I see a lot of that Sagittarius and Aries. But I get it. Like, with my Mercury being in Pisces, I get it.
When I think of a comical Pisces, I think of you, if that makes sense.
I think it's funny that I have, like, so, like, your rising is, like, a very, like, kind of, like, your I wouldn't say, like, your persona, but, like, the mask that you wear in front of people. Yeah. It's, like, kind of, like, you meet someone for the first time, this is the kind of face this kind of mask that you're going to wear. Almost like a protective thing, but it's also like kind of like like your fight or flight impulse. Like, this is who I'm going to be right now. Like, this is how I'm going to act.
Aww. Sorry, he came in and then looked at my mom and yelled and then walked back out.
He's such a good boy. I don't even know what my cat is.
She's being the best somewhere else.
Probably. I tried to... anyways, I don't know where I was going with the Aries and rising. Being...
Astrology. Here we are.
I wish I could know all of Alex's chart. I think we all want to know her whole chart.
I'm trying to remember. We'll get that info. We'll find it.
Because it's like, obviously, it's sometime at 1 p.m. on the East Coast she was born. But
I could probably look it up later now that I think about it. We have exact location.
It's true. Because we can have, like, an idea of where she is. Because, like, I know for a long time I thought I was a specific Venus sign. And then I, like, actually got the exact minute. And then I was like, mind blown. Anyways,
yeah, guys, astrology's real. Anyways, so this
is a podcast about true crime
Hi.
and paranormal and
Tipsy Mysteries. What's up?
Tipsy Mysteries. We're not even tipsy yet. What's up?
I mean, getting there.
We're gonna get there. I specifically waited to not open this can yet because of you.
Oh, my heart. Okay.
I was honestly like,
ready.
I'm going to open this in the fridge because I already had a little bit beforehand, but not this one.
My heart. ASMR.
Ooh, lemon.
Gay fuck. Do you guys enjoy that bit we do every single episode? Because we do. Will it ever get old? Most likely. Will it ever get old to us? Probably not.
Nope.
Here's my plastic sparkly cup. Well, my dear, dear friend, do you know what tomorrow is?
I heard it was a Friday. I don't know. Good Friday, Memorial Friday, Vietnam Friday. I don't know.
So, May 22nd.
22nd?
May 22nd. I'm going to have you look up May 22nd really fast.
I don't want to.
Just Google it really, really fast.
Hey, Google. What's May 22nd?
According to Wikipedia, May 22nd is the 142nd day of the year in the Gregorian calendar.
Bitch!
223 days remain until the end of the year.
Ask what holiday.
Hey, Google.
Damn it, Siri.
What holiday is May 22nd?
Here is information from National Today.
I'm going to start with the bottom one because that one just doesn't sound right. National Maritime Day, International Day for Biological Diversity, and Harvey Milk Day, which I'm guessing is what we're going to do.
Sorry, my story's on marine biology. My bad.
Oh, I'm like, biological diversity. Okay.
Oh, shit. Biological diversity. No,
There
no.
was one that was like maritime something. Maritime. I don't know.
It's my story's on maritime diversity. No. So, as Google failed to properly tell you, tomorrow is Harvey Milk Day, Harvey Milk's birthday. In honor of that, I am going to tell you all about Harvey Milk.
Yeah! Tell me about this gay politician.
I don't know how much you like super know about him. I think everyone like knows kind of like the famous
kind of like
aspects.
The Milk movie, or
yeah, pretty much. Mm-hmm. So this is my first true crime story.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Right? Yeah, because I've done conspiracies. First true crime story. Ew.
Wow.
This one was hard. It was interesting because it was hard for me to research because I realized that with these stories, I really enjoy, as with everything, like the little fun facts, as you very much well know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to stop myself from like just doing his early life of fun facts and be like, okay, and I should probably say what actually happened, during his political career at some point. So, very fun time. So are you ready for me to tell you?
I'm ready.
I'm very excited for this one.
Me too.
You play. Gaze. Here we are.
I'm gonna get cozy.
With my
Jungkook pillow.
And there's a fact in here. Once I get to it, I'm so excited to tell you. Oh my god.
Okay. Is it about his butt sex life?
I mean, partially, yeah.
I was kidding. I was like, okay. We're gonna get to that pillow talk. I see.
I mean, you'll see. So, today, my dear friends, my dear listeners,
I don't have my vape on me.
In honor of Harvey Milk, grab your goddamn vape. Come on.
I was playing. Okay, so I was playing video games, and then I was all like, gotta get stuff and do my hair, and then I forgot about it. So it should be over there.
Go through so much. Guys, Vee doesn't have her headphones in, so she can't hear me. Butts. Ass, tits. She'll never know I said any of this until much later. Poopy.
Aha! I found water too.
Ooh, smart. Oh.
Don't smoke, kids. Also, you shouldn't be listening to this if you're a kid.
I mean, you're probably a cool-ass kid, but also, yeah, please don't. So, side note, it's getting really bright, so I'm gonna pop on these bad boys so I can properly tell you this story.
I love it. I love it.
I got them in the Pride section of Michael's the other day. So, are you ready to learn about Mr. Milk himself? So,
tell me about the milkman.
Milkman. Here we are. So, Harvey Milk. He was a visionary civil and human rights leader who became one of the first openly gay elected officials in the United States when he won a seat on the San Francisco Board of Supervisors in 1977.
Nice.
These are a little too distracting. It's fine. I'll live. So, I'm going to go through, the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to go through his early life, kind of give you a feel for who he was as a person, and kind of go through his achievements and how he really got into politics, and go from there. So just so you know what we're going to get into. So early life. Here we are. Harvey was born on May 22nd, 1930, in Woodmere, New York, to William and Minerva Milk. Harvey had one sibling, his older brother Robert, and the two came from a small middle-class Jewish family that was founded. So they also founded a Jewish synagogue, and it was actually well known in New York, in their community for their civil engagements. So that's kind of the household he grew up in. So Harvey knew that words no work, brain not here. Hello. So Harvey knew that he was gay by the time that he attended Bayshore High School. So he figured it out pretty early on, essentially, right? I'm like, here we are. We're here and we're queer. Cheers. So in high school, he was actually a really popular student, and he had a wide range of interests from opera to playing football, and he would also often play the role of class clown. So I know this boy loved the opera. As a child, he would like sit in front of the radio and like finger conduct to the opera.
That's so cute.
I know, I'm like, that's so cute. God damn it.
It reminds me when I was growing up Mormon and I was like really into the choir stuff, and I was like, I loved being able to conduct and like try to read the music.
Aww.
But I have no sense of rhythm, like with keeping the beat. I'm terrible. Fair. So when I play instruments, it did not work out.
I feel you. I love music. I will appreciate it from a distance. There we go. So, again, this is 1930s, 1940s. So, at this time, he kept his sexuality hidden from the world because, it was
understandably
dangerous to be open at this time. So, I do not blame him at all for that.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's really fucking tough. And he was quoted as saying, quote, "I can't let it out. It would kill my parents." Right? I'm like,
yeah.
Oh.
A little Jewish boy, of course.
It's a little Jewish boy. He's like, trying to do his best. And so, that was funny. Under his name in his high school yearbook, it read, quote, "And they say women are never at a loss for words." I was like, get it? Get it? Get it? Fun stuff.
I like him.
So, I'm excited for you to kind of like just see who he is. So, following high school, Harvey would then go on to attend college at State University of New York, where he studied math and history. And after graduating in 1951, Harvey enlisted in the Navy during the Korean War. However, he only served until 1955, so 4 years, when he was forced to resign at the rank of lieutenant junior grade after being officially questioned about his sexual orientation, and then he was discharged as a result. Because, it's really rough.
Yeah.
It's really rough. So following his time in the Navy, Harvey moved to New York City, and he started working as a public school teacher on Long Island. Then, in 1956, a year later, he meets Joe Campbell. So Joe was nearly 6 years younger than Harvey, and Harvey pursued him passionately. So Harvey was like a very romantic guy. Like you'll kind of see
again.
March 22nd.
That's right. We just said that. It's
sorry, May 22nd.
tomorrow.
Jesus Christ.
It's tomorrow. I understood what you meant. So I was
You
like,
get it.
yeah, I get you. I get you.
You got me. You got me.
I was like, he's a Gemini.
He's a Gemini. He's a fucking Gemini.
But like,
so these two they fall in love.
Mm-hmm.
And even after they move in together, Harvey would write Joe romantic notes and poems and leave little gifts for him. So here is my favorite, like absolute favorite part of this story. So Harvey was a businessman for a while, and he would often take trips to Japan. Because of this, he picked up the honorific San and used it for pet names. I'm going to read you one of these letters.
Oh, no.
Are you ready?
He was a weeb.
He was a fucking weeaboo. So, quote, to my Joe-san. Joe-san is one word, by the way. To me, you are my warrior. You are my night. You are my day. May the many, many days and years pass pleasantly, happy and rewarding, for we have many years to spend together. The first two have swept by, and with each I found that I love you 365 days more and 365 times harder. Your Doll Baby San, Harvey San. Doll Baby San is also one word, as well as Harvey San. So just take a sec to really...
That's so beautiful.
Take that in. So Harvey Milk was a goddamn reboot, and this is everything I've ever wanted in my entire life.
But also, like that letter was like really cute as fuck, like
right, like fuck. It's like what's also interesting is like I had to cut. So with the story, I had to cut out a lot of people that Harvey did date just for the sake of keeping my notes less than 10 pages. But everyone that he dated, like even after they broke up, they were still friends with him. He was just chill dude.
Can't relate.
Fuck you.
Hey, I didn't mean you. I'm like,
hey, thank you.
I'm like, we're friends. I will give you any villager in my island if you want.
Shucks. I'll give you so many snacks and hugs. Oh. So yeah, Harvey Milk Weeaboo. I feel like you need that in your life. And I only heard it in one podcast, and then I looked it up, and I was like, holy fucking shit. And no one else mentioned this. So I need it to be out in the world. You feel.
That's cute. I like it.
Right. Oh, fun fact. They also owned a pet toucan named Bill.
Oh.
I thought it was fun. So.
I love that they had a bird. It's so precious.
Right? It's just named Bill. So later, Harvey would leave his teaching job, and instead he found work as a stock analyst at an insurance firm. At this time, Harvey wasn't active in politics, but he was still very against bigotry, and when faced with anti-Semitism or homophobia, it really hit him hard. And like, I got two examples of this. So first one is one day, Harvey and Joe were just walking down the street, and the stranger walks by them and just starts yelling homophobic slurs at them. Harvey then goes, grabs this guy by the collar and shakes him and yells the insults at him. I'm like, go Harvey. Get him.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it. A little punchy-wunchy. Come on. So another time, one night the two were having dinner with one of Joe's friends, who was from Germany, and he had lived there during World War II. So Harvey turns the conversation to the concentration camps during the Holocaust. And the friend claims that he had no idea the camps were in Germany until after the war.
That's
Harvey. What?
I was gonna say that like a lot of people were like, they were misinformed during that war, like of what was actually happening, because like they try to keep so many things under wraps, and it was just like such a like it was like a scare tactic of like you don't really ask and talk about it.
Yeah, which I can get.
I
guess I'm not sure about this guy. Because, like, when Harvey's talking to him, like, he said that, and that kind of just, like, snapped something in him. And so Harvey got really angry, and he asked, quote, how could he have lived in Germany and not know what was going on? How could he have not been aware of the carnage, huh? Are you deaf, blind, dumb? So it's just...
That's like, it's also true. It's like, you're, like, no one really questioned or, like... Well, a lot of people are... I wouldn't say a lot. Like, there was plenty of people that tried to, like, help people of like in need during that time, but that's such a such
It's
a touchy
tricky.
subject too, because it's
So I
like,
think like where he was coming from, as a Jewish person that lived through World War II, and this is after it, I can see why he would be like, how could you not fucking know about this?
Yeah. But like that's on you for that. Like I feel like nowadays like it's different because we have so many different outlets of information coming from everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But like we could still be unaware of what our government could be doing, and we might not even know.
Most likely.
Yeah. But like
fun stuff.
But we're responsible for trying to like find out what's going on and like taking care of what we need to. So
yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. Anyways,
cheers.
I have lots of feelings. Cheers. I have lots of feelings about World War II too. I did a
big old mood.
I did a lot of essays in high school about the gays in World War II because I had a homophobic teacher.
Oh,
and I was like, "Fuck you! I'm gonna make everything gay now."
And here you are, your 2020 gay podcast. Boom!
You're right.
Made it. You've made it. So, following this, eventually Harvey and Joe, they just began to grow apart as the years passed. And in 1962, the couple separated after being together for almost 6 years. And this would turn out to be Harvey's longest relationship in his entire life. But they still remain friends. It's sad. It's like it happens. People grow apart.
Yeah.
So fast forward. During the 1960s and 70s, as political and social climate began to change, so did Harvey. He became more actively involved in politics and advocacy, and he demonstrated against the Vietnam War. It was also around this time that Harvey would move from New York to San Francisco. So before he'd been kind of like conservative and just like, I'm going to stay in the closet. And then as this change is happening, he's like, okay, you know what? I don't like this. I want to change this. And so you can see this shift happen, basically.
Yeah.
So fast forward again to 1971. Okay. Harvey would meet Scott Smith on his 41st birthday. Scott was 18 years his junior, but both were enamored with each other, and Harvey asked Scott to move back with him to San Francisco, and Scott agreed. So age different there.
Wow.
Iffy.
Yeah.
It's tricky because like both consenting. It was also in 1971, so it's like.
Yeah, I'm like.
You feel?
It's like such a weird spot because like wouldn't that make Scott like about 23? If it's 18 years younger than 41.
18 minus 41. Is that 23?
Because 8 minus...
Higher game, you can't do math.
8 minus 40 is 32, so then 22 plus 1 would be 23. That's how I do my math.
Smart. So 23.
Yeah. So it's it's slightly like kind of iffy, but also kind of like not as... I don't know.
It's tricky. I mean, this seems to be like Harvey Milk's type is like younger guys, but I will say like it never seemed predatory in nature, if that makes sense. Like
it wasn't like he was like grooming the people.
No, it definitely wasn't that. And it wasn't like if they got together when someone was like 19 and then the second they turned like 21, he's like, you're too old. It's like they would stay together for a long time.
Okay.
But I can still see
it's not like what was it? Like Leonardo DiCaprio, who's like girlfriend can't pass like 25 or whatever.
It's definitely not that. I just kind of wanted to make that as transparent as I could. Mm-hmm. But it's like not great, but not what necessarily also could look like. I don't know.
Yeah, like I personally wouldn't condone that, but we also don't know their relationship specifically. Like,
and also like if it's 1971 and you're two gay guys, it's kind of hard to find other people.
Yeah,
as you can imagine. So it's the rules are kind of set differently from all the sources I've seen, everything I've read and listened to. That's moving on.
I'm like, as long as Scott was able to be his own person in that situation and have his own kind of like boundaries and everything, like then I'm fine.
Yeah. It seemed like Harvey, he really liked kind of playing this role of like the, mentor. So he would take who was seeing at the time and like take them to the opera and like show them like all these kind of like this culture essentially. And so it seems like that's what he liked to do. If that makes sense.
That was his way of romancing.
Essentially, it was kind of just teaching. Again, just want to be as transparent as possible. So,
yeah.
Moving on. Together, they moved down to Castro Street in New York, as it had cheap apartments and it also had a few gay bars. It wasn't booming like it is now. It was just kind of starting there.
Yeah.
And then in 1972, they used their last grand to open up a camera store on Castro Street called Castro Camera. So, here's my fun fact. Every podcast I listen to, every single one, they're like, why did they open up a camera store? And everyone's like, I don't fucking know.
The dark rooms?
Could have been that. I figured it out, though. I did. You want to know why?
Why?
I was so excited when this clicked for me. I was like, holy shit. So at this time, if you...
does it make it like a safe place for people to actually take their film there?
Exactly.
Of being,
so this is also the time like Polaroids are coming out. And this was like a huge fucking thing for queer people because say if you're gay, you want to take pictures with someone, you would need to have those developed. Someone would have to look at those pictures. And sometimes you had someone that worked at a development store that you could go to, but a lot of times you didn't. And so when Polaroids came out, you could keep that fucking picture. That was instrumental. Like, that was so fucking cool. So that's why they had a camera store. Really important. I thought that was really neat. Nice.
I think that's really good that, like, they decided to make, like, a safe space for gay people in that community to, like, be like, you want to save and, like, treasure these memories with the person that you love, but you don't want to be outed by other people. You don't want to, like, have, like, a bunch of angry people coming at you because someone outed you when you didn't need to be, when you didn't want to be, but you want to save these memories of the one that you love. I think that's great.
Sorry, gay history just makes me happy when, like, you get those little wins and you're like,
yeah.
So that was just my fun fact for the day. So I'm glad
that we were also like able to be on like the same wavelength with it. Like we're like, okay, we get it.
Like same gay brain. Here we are. So as you said, their shop quickly became like a neighborhood center, and Harvey's sense of humor and
theatrical.
Yes, thank you.
Theatricality.
Yes, that word.
Theatricality.
His humor in that word made him a very popular figure. And it was around this time that he saw how little the local government was actually doing for the communities in San Francisco. And he saw the change that needed to happen. He's like, you know what? Things need to happen. We need to change. So a little more than a year after his arrival into the city, he declared his candidacy for the San Francisco Board of Supervisors. Get this. My boy Harvey. He gets a crate. He paints the word soap on it. And he goes down to the plaza on Castro Street, gets on it, and then announces his intent to run. So he literally gets on a soapbox. He's so extra. So extra. I love it. That's so good. It's like, yes. Nice.
We love a punny man.
Cheers. Boop. So, does that. Unfortunately, he lost that race, but he did emerge from the campaign as a force to be reckoned with in local politics.
Yeah.
He got a fair amount of votes, which was impressive given who he was and who he openly, like, he was out. He was everything. So people are like, holy shit, like, people are actually going to vote for this guy. My God.
And now more people are even aware of him. So next time he's running, they're like, we know about this guy. And we have time to, like, figure out what he's about. So.
Exactly. So you'll see how he kind of runs his campaigns here.
Yeah.
Hilariously. So while Harvey was running for local offices, Castro Camera, it became the center of activity, as I said. And Harvey would often... Did I not word that right? Okay, so it became like the center where he would run his campaigns, essentially. And Harvey, he would pull people off the street and just, like, work on his campaigns. And he would also take take in anybody, no matter their skill level.
Oh.
So a lot of people come in like, they're like, hey, I just need experience in this field. He'd be like, come on in, come help. And
Yeah.
they were able to get experience from that, which is really awesome. He would take anybody. And like, for example, a writer who would come in sometimes to pet his dog ended up being his speechwriter. Right?
Wow.
And there was also an 11-year-old girl who just walked in one day. And she's like, I want to help. He's like, come on in. She ended up being the campaign manager's assistant.
Wow. That's amazing.
Right? So it's just, I love just how, like, communal it all is. It just makes me so happy. So, it was also this time that Harvey began to work 17-hour days.
Mm-hmm.
And the stress of the campaign eventually took its toll, and Harvey and Scott broke up after being together for 4 years. They did, however, remain friends and business partners as they owned the store together.
Yeah.
And it was also this time, like, so if you were someone in that neighborhood and you had an issue, like, someone broke into your store and you felt like the police weren't doing enough about it, you could go to Harvey and be like, hey, what should I do? He would also give advice to, like, local gay couples and, like, you know, local queer kids. Just, like, it really became the community center, which was so fucking cool. So even when he was campaigning, people were still coming in and he was still helping. Mm-hmm. Like, one lady came in and was like, hey, you know, there's like a stop sign. I need a stop sign by my house. And he went in and, like, took care of it.
Wow.
Because that's the reason why he was running, was to local politics. This is what he was really about.
Yeah.
So.
That's amazing that he was, like, he was doing the work that he said that he wanted to do.
Yes.
He was showing people exactly what he was about.
So I wanted people to know that. I thought it was really cool. So in 1975, he again ran for San Francisco supervisor. But sadly, Harvey lost the election as he came in 7th place, only one position away from earning a supervisor seat. So really fucking close. I forgot to change my name on this. Ignore me.
I'm like, is there a way that we can, like, crop that later so they don't see that? Or
I'll figure it out.
Okay,
it should be fine.
As long as your information doesn't get out, I guess.
I'll figure it out. It'll be fine. It'll be good. So yeah, only one position away from earning a supervisor seat. Ooh, I'll have a sticker. There we go. However, this same year, State Senator George Moscone, he was elected mayor with the support of Harvey, as he also had, like, really pro LGBTQ ideas. It's very anti-discriminatory, very just liberal leaning. So cool dude. And so Mayor Moscone, he acknowledged Harvey's influence in his election, and he thanked him personally and appointed him to the City Board of Permit Appeals. Wow. It was actually a pretty big position, making Harvey Milk the first openly gay city commissioner in the United States. So
amazing.
Super cool. Harvey, however, considered seeking a position in the California State Assembly, but there was a law that elected officials, they couldn't run a campaign while performing their duties. So Harvey spent 5 weeks on the Board of Permit Appeals before the mayor was forced to fire him, because he's like, I'm gonna go run for this, like, job. He's like, Harvey, Harvey, really?
It's like, I wanted you for this position, but I guess, like, this is what your heart desires. Like, he gotta.
So he's like, okay, I guess. Have fun. Ugh. So Harvey and his team, they campaigned for the state assembly, but they ended up losing this election as well, much to the dismay of him and his friend. So it really is, like, a fucking underdog story, because he just keeps, like, trying and trying and trying. Just you wait. So, moving forward a little bit. In September of 1975, President Gerald Ford, he was visiting San Francisco, and he walked out of his hotel to his car, and there was a crowd, like, waiting to see him because they were excited to see the president.
Yeah, of course.
Right? And in this crowd, there was a woman named Sarah Jane Moore. She raised a gun to shoot him. And a man who happened to be walking by grabbed her arm, and the gun discharged towards the pavement. No one was hurt. This bystander, his name was Bill Sipple. Weirdly enough, he was an ex-boyfriend of Joe Campbell, an old boyfriend of Harvey Milk's. Right? Worlds collide. Fucking weird.
Crazy. Like, what is it? Like, there are like 3 connections or like 5 connections to someone. Yeah.
It's fucking weird. So, this happens, and the national spotlight is on him immediately, but Bill refuses to call himself a hero, and he wants to remain anonymous. Like, the press show up, and they're like, oh my god, like, can we get your name for the paper? He's like, no, I do not want my name in the paper.
Yeah, like,
he was
especially as a...
Oh, sorry, he was gay, but he wasn't out, was the problem.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, is like, if like, at that time, as a queer person, to have that kind of, like, kind of, like, I guess, infamy at that moment, like, and then have that chance of, like, reporters coming in and trying to find out exactly who you are and then outing you is dangerous.
So he just said, like, no, I just want to remain anonymous. And they're like, okay. So I don't like this part of the story. Harvey, he saw this as he saw the situation. He's like, no, I could take advantage of this. Because he saw the opportunity to show the public that gay people could be brave heroes. Like,
no.
Opposite of what the public thought was the time. So he told a friend, quote, it's too good an opportunity. For once we can show that gays can do heroic things. Not all that caca about molesting children and hanging out in bathrooms. End quote.
I'm like, I hate going to the bathroom in public.
Right? So Harvey, he contacted a newspaper, and several days later, the San Francisco Chronicle exposed Bill Sipple as gay and a friend of Harvey Milk's.
Oh, no.
Yeah, this eventually led to Time magazine naming Harvey as the leader in San Francisco's gay community. However, really, really sadly, Bill's life really went downhill from there, as he was chased
what I would
down.
imagine.
Right? So he was chased down by reporters. His family refused to speak to him, and his mother wouldn't leave her house. So it's never okay to out somebody. I can see why Harvey saw it as an opportunity, but it was not a good opportunity.
It wasn't his opportunity to
There
choose.
we go.
That's the thing, is like, if Harvey was the one to, like, stop the shooting and stop that from happening, and he wanted to, like, be like, I am a gay man and I'm proud of it, and I want everyone to know, like, we can do these kind of things, good on him. But if Bill wanted to stay under wraps about it, didn't want to come out, because it's the 70s, like, it's terrifying at that time.
It's not safe.
Yeah, it's dangerous as fuck. And so for him to do that is fucking terrible. Like,
it is. It's so I want to give you guys the full story. I don't want to sweep things under the rug.
Just because he was a pretty chill, okay guy doesn't mean that he has the rights to be as problematic in those moments. Like, no, we got to call him out for the things that he did do wrong, but he still did good stuff too. So
still good stuff. I think we can all say with certainty that this is not okay to do.
And like, so he is a human being. Like, I get, like, he saw his opportunity and was a little too focused on that and not seeing the bigger picture. That's the problem. Yeah. Which he didn't think about the other people that were involved in this. It's just so rude that he didn't even, like, get permission. He didn't even ask for consent to be like, hey, can I use your story? Can I bring this as being like, we as a community can do so much more than just what you guys imagine us to do. Yeah. And, like, if he was able to, like, talk to him and be like, you know what, like, I can help you get somewhere safe. I can do something for you. That would have been different. Like, if he was able to, like, provide something as, like, or, like, if Bill, it was Bill, right? I can't remember. If he was just like,
not that you can, but
like, if he was just like, hey, like, no, like, I'm not out. Like, I don't want anyone to know anything about me. I don't want anything about this. Like, I just want to live a private life doing my own thing. Then Harvey should have been able to be like, okay, like, then I won't do it. I won't do this. But Fuck.
Yeah, so we can say that wasn't a bad thing to do with full certainty. So President Ford, he ended up sending Bill a note of thanks for saving his life rather than an invitation to the White House. And it's safe to assume that this was because Bill is gay. So, but don't like that. Oh, are you ready? Ding ding, we have a villain alert. It's in my notes.
Alert?
It says ding ding villain alert. This is really
what does that mean?
Are you ready to find out?
As ready as I will be.
So this is truly an underdog story. So now we've had our declining arch. Now we have our antagonists, our pieces of shit that come in. Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
This story has a lot of emotions for me. I'm sorry. So, villain alert.
As you can tell, also, I have a lot of emotions and thoughts about this.
Woohoo!
But as a queer person, I'm invested so much into being like.
So let me introduce you to our sacks of shit. So, in 1977, in Miami, Florida, there was a civil rights ordinance that passed that made discrimination against sexual orientation illegal, which was super fucking cool. That was a huge
Miami.
Yes, Miami. So that was like monumental.
Mm-hmm. I miss Miami.
Take me with you. Go on a trip.
Next time. We'll go see the haunted doll. Robert,
please let us bring you candy.
Joints.
Did we ever make the special brownie joke? Can we leave him? Can we leave him a special brownie? So like the best of both worlds. Best of both worlds.
And no one else will eat them because they trust Rob. They were like, that's Robert's.
Okay, well, add this to our everlasting road trip.
Yes.
So
once we're out of quarantine,
we'll leave Robert the doll. We'll give him some special brownies.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, civil rights.
Miami.
Awesome. Miami. Chill. Bum bum. A well-organized group of conservative fundamentalist Christians responded, headed by singer/orange juice promoter Anita Bryant.
She was in Florida, so I get it.
Huh?
This is in Florida, right? So I get it. Orange juice promoter.
She was also like a Miss America contestant and like kind of a B-list singer. Sorry, I'm flipping her off in my notes. So this orange juice gal, Anita Bryant, she had this campaign. The campaign was titled Save Our Children, and Anita claimed the ordinance infringed on her right to teach her children biblical morality.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, I can't discriminate against you? How will my children know right from wrong? Fuck you and your orange juice.
Yeah, fuck your orange juice. Like, fuck that.
And what makes it worse is the campaign gathered 64,000 signatures to put the issue to a county-wide vote, and the law ended up getting repealed. Fuck you. Thank you.
I gave myself a headache from rolling my eyes so hard. Oh no, how can I make my kids hate people the same way I hate people? Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
But I'll still eat shellfish, and I'll still wear 2 different types of clothes. What is it called? Fabrics. Textures. Whatever.
See, thank you. And what sucks, like, because she was like a conventionally attractive white woman who said like these crazy ass things, they just let her go on TV and she said all this bullshit. So, are you ready for villain number 2?
Yes.
Okay. So this is also around the time that California State Senator John Briggs saw an opportunity in the Save Our Children campaign. He was hoping to be elected governor of California, and his goal was to morally clean up the state, as he saw San Francisco as a, quote, sexual garbage heap. Sounds fun to me. Because of the queer community.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the quote. I don't have it in my notes, but he was quoted as saying San Francisco was for the 3 Gs. The godless, grass, gays.
That sounds like my type of place.
Thank you. Let's go to San Francisco.
What? Yeah. I'm like, it's too expensive for me, but...
Well...
And I think it's been like gentrified a lot, right? I don't know.
Yeah, it depends on what area you're in. You can get a little... But there are some parts that are also fun, so... Sexual garbage heap, here we come. So... What could possibly happen other than Senator Briggs teaming up with Anita Bryant? And they basically create like the goddamn League of Villains.
Oof.
So in my notes I said super fun, rotten hell.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is really sad. So also at this time, random attacks on LGBTQ people rose in the Castro. Like, it was just because people saw all this shit. They're like, oh,
who knew?
It's okay to beat the shit out of queer people now.
Who knew that, like, openly talking about hatred and being a terrible person will make other people want to be hateful and a terrible person? Who knew?
Who would have fucking thought?
Who would have thought that there would be a rise in hate crimes because someone with a political power to, like, talk about being hateful? I'm angry.
This whole story. I got angry many times while doing my notes, fun fact. So in June of 1977, a gay man named Robert Hillsborough, he died from 15 stab wounds while his attackers gathered around him and chanted homophobic slurs. Both Mayor Moscone and his mother, they claimed that Anita Bryant and John Briggs were to blame for his death publicly. Yes.
I wonder why. Yeah.
So I'm glad that they held those two responsible, because that makes me really fucking angry.
I am so angry right now.
So rest in power, my friend. Oh, this will make you feel a little bit better. Also in 1977, Anita Bryant was hit in the face with a pie. She was at a press conference, and gay rights activist Tom Higgins fucking smacked her in the face with the pie. There's audio of it too. I
wish it was my fist.
Right? And I didn't hear anybody else talk about that until I was like, Anita Bryant. It was like, pie in face. I'm like, pie in face? What do you mean? And
good.
Side note, afterwards she began to pray for him, so fuck off. She's still alive. Give her a knife, and it'll be a fair fight.
I need to find out.
She's like 80-something. You want to come fight her with me?
I would fight her.
Do you want to fight her and John Briggs? I don't know if he's still alive. Let's fight.
I will.
We're coming for you.
And if he's not alive, I'll fight his ghost.
We have so many bones to fight. Oh my god, and ghosts.
Yeah. So many bones to fight.
Do you guys want to... I should make our little hit list. Would you guys want that?
Ghosts and bones to fight?
Ghosts and bones to fight. So, at the time, the general opinion of queer individuals was that since gay couples could not reproduce, that they had to recruit new gays, and would do so by stealing away children. Okay. Here, I love this. I love this so much, because Harvey, he took the... Bea is just reclining so far back in her seat. She can't.
I'm just trying to understand.
Thank you.
Where did they come from if they had a recruit, though? Like, who was the first recruited? Who was the recruiter?
You know what? I would love the answer to this, personally. So I think your screen froze. Let's see. You're stuck in, like... Let's see, I'll recreate it. You're stuck in, like, this position.
That's fine, because that's how I feel.
Now you're like... Which is also the mood, personally. So, okay, but it's okay, because Harvey, he took this and he ran with it. So he...
Good.
He began starting off his speeches by saying, quote, "My name is Harvey Milk, and I'm here to recruit you." And I love that so goddamn much. I love it. Right? It was like, cheers. Cheers to that.
It's like, fuck you people. This is what I'm about.
And he tended to do this a lot where he was just like a really funny and charismatic guy, and he kind of was able to take a lot of the shit going on and kind of make it, I'm trying to think of the word, like, palatable for people? I don't know if that's the right one, but you get what I'm saying.
I get that. It's kind of like he's trying to, I wouldn't say humanize, because that's a complete wrong word for it, but he's trying to make it more relatable to, and like for people to understand that he is a human, he is a person, and just because his sexual orientation is a bit different than theirs might be, maybe they're closeted and they don't want to, they're like have that internalized homophobia and they haven't accepted who they are. Like, he's just trying to be like, look, I am a person and I'll make jokes about this because you know what? This can't hurt me. This can't. Words can't affect me like this. Like, the words can, like, once you give like words enough power, like it can affect a lot of things. Like, but like he's trying to not let that be a weapon against him.
Exactly. He is a really strong guy, and he was. A lot of people said that he was like pretty much born for politics. Like, he knew how to talk to people. He knew how to really charm people. He knew, like, even later down the line when he gets elected, people that he was working with are like, you know what? I don't like Harvey Milk's ideals, but I like him as a person. And that was the thing a lot of people said about him. They're like, even if you don't agree with him, you still like him. Yes, there we go, personable.
Yeah.
So in 1970, yes, he's very charismatic. So in 1977, Harvey once again ran for supervisor, and this time he won. He won. And so he was inaugurated as San Francisco City County Supervisor on January 9th, 1978.
Good for him.
Good for him. This was an important and symbolic victory for the LGBTQ community, as well as a personal triumph for Harvey as his
I was going to say, especially in this time right now with so much hatred, that he's still fighting to like be a person of his community and a representative of his community. I think it's amazing.
He fought tooth and nail. He definitely worked to get where he eventually was able to get, which I just admire so much. And so after his inauguration, Harvey Milk would give his famous hope speech, which included this famous quote, "I know that you cannot live on hope alone, but without it, life is not worth living. And you, and you, and you. Gotta give him hope." End quote. A lot of good quotes.
That's good.
Side note.
Yeah.
So Harvey is often quoted as the first openly gay politician, but that honor actually goes to another person. And I think the movie Milk kind of like also drilled that into people's minds. I don't want to take away his accomplishment, but the first person was Kathy Koshenko. And she was actually the first openly lesbian or gay candidate to successfully run for a political office in the United States. So it's the thing of like, if you're not a white gay man, you kind of get run over sometimes, which also sucks because this is a time when gays and lesbians aren't necessarily
not
together in the community. They're really at odds.
It's like a very
us versus them kind of thing.
Yeah, which is sad because like it's almost the same battle, but they have two different types of. I don't know how to describe it, but like there are two different types of battles that should be able to come together and fight together, but yeah, it's a tough time back then.
It really is. So I just kind of wanted to put that out, let you guys know that he's still very important, but the first person
to run was a lesbian woman.
Was a lesbian, so I don't know. Maybe I'm biased. I thought personally that was really fucking cool.
Mm-hmm. But it's also important to know that like even like I'm glad that he is celebrated for what he has done. Like there has been others before though.
Yes.
And we need to acknowledge that there has been others because that is really fucked up to not give them the proper acknowledgement.
Exactly.
And light on what they've done as well. Like, because it's the 70s right now. And, like, it's tough as fuck to be an out person trying to be out there in politics, especially.
Like, to be an out person in general and, like, put running for office on top of that is just...
Exactly. Like,
crazy. You're
pretty much putting a target on your back that's 10 times bigger now.
Yep. It's a rough time. So, Oh. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you about Harvey as a supervisor. So he proved himself to be an effective and popular supervisor as he worked to protect gay rights, and he established daycare centers for working moms. He also helped turn military facilities in the city to low-cost housing, which is really fucking cool. And he was a powerful advocate for strong, safe neighborhoods. In addition, he spoke out on state and national issues of interest to LGBTQ people, women, racial and ethnic minorities, and other marginalized communities. So he's really for the people, which, sorry, really interesting side note. At this time, it was kind of more so in New York, the thought was with people that were, I'm trying to how to word this, people that were for that were working as gay advocates, the thought was, okay, if we present ourselves as, normal people, straight, and we just happen to be gay, we will come to find acceptance that way. Whereas Harvey's line of thinking was, no, we are different. We should be out and proud about this. And so because of that, he actually got a lot of support from drag queens and other really effeminate gays and other more marginalized communities because he would have been a voice for them. Whereas, like, other ones would have been mostly a voice
instead of assimilating in with the heteronormatives. Yes. And trying to be like, we do exactly the same things as everyone else. We just date people of the same gender or the same sex. But Harvey was all like, no, we are different. We have a different community. We have a different culture. And we need to be accepted for that itself.
Exactly, which I thought was really important because, a lot of people that weren't included in that, middle-class white gay man circle, they wouldn't get anything, which is still the case, which really fucking sucks.
Yeah.
It makes me mad. So, anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know that. So, hilariously, the one thing that truly made Harvey Milk into a popular candidate was his greatly named Pooper Scooper Law. Let me tell you about this. So there had been a citywide poll that named dog poop as the biggest problem in San Francisco. So Harvey took this and he ran with it, a growing trend. Within a month of being sworn in, he began to work on a city ordinance that required dog owners to scoop up their pet species, and it was soon made a requirement. Following this, Harvey received a shit ton of letters thanking him for putting this into place. And this was the most letters he'd ever received in office. So everything else he'd done, people were like, civil rights? Nah. People picking up dog shit? Let me shake your hand, sir.
Thank you for your service, sir. For helping people pick up their dog shit. Like, we don't care about humans, but the dog shit, that's
The
been
dog
taken
shit.
care of.
We care about. So I thought that was hilarious. Had to pass it on.
Amazing.
Got a burp.
I love people.
So, ding ding, villain alert, part 2. Are you ready for our third villain? Our third and final villain?
I guess so.
Joining the shit league of villains that I'm going to kick in the nuts. Little baby fists.
Tell me.
So now I'm going to introduce you to a guy named Dan White. And if that name sounds familiar, there's a reason.
I wonder why.
Wonder why. So he was also a first-time supervisor that was sworn in around the same time as Harvey.
Mm-hmm.
Dan was a 31-year-old former police officer and firefighter who had more recently gotten into politics. And as a white Irish Catholic conservative, he was very popular as a politician in his district because everyone else was also a white Irish Catholic conservative. So,
Mm-hmm.
Side note, if you look up a picture of him, he has the worst 70s hair. Like, it looks like if you took a Barbie doll and, like, Sharpied some hair on it. Just look it up real fast. I'll keep talking. Just look it up. So, interestingly enough.
What was his name?
Dan White.
That's such a...
Yep. Yep.
Ugh.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Ugh.
See what I mean? Oh, so have you
that butt chin.
It's the butt chin.
Ugh.
Have you seen the Milk movie?
I saw it like 12 years ago, 10 years ago.
Okay, we should have a movie night because I have not seen it. I've only seen clips. But your boy, your husband, Josh Brolin, plays Dan White.
I'm like, he's my husband? When did that happen? That's not
when
my
I sat
husband.
next to you in Deadpool 2. That's when that happened.
No, that was someone else. That was our other friend. And I was like, I get it because cybernetics, like half robot men. I get it. I get that, but he's not my husband.
Okay. Well, if it helps, Sean Penn plays Harvey. So
yeah, and
he
then
he looked like he made
one of his boyfriends.
Yeah, like he looks like he made a good Harvey. So
yeah.
Anyway, so when they first started out, Harvey and Dan are they started out as like pretty neutral friends. Like neither of them had a problem with the other, and everything was really smooth sailing for a while. Like they were kind of like, "Oh hey, what's up, dude? What's up?"
Yeah, yeah.
Chilling. Then everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. So there was supposed to be a mental health facility for troubled and at-risk youth built within Dan's district. And so he asked Harvey to vote with him in opposition of it being built. Because he's like, I don't want this here. We don't need it. Blah, blah, blah. I'm dumb. I'm poopy.
What?
So at first, Harvey agreed to support him. He was like, yeah, sure, I'll vote with you. But later, Harvey went and looked into it and into the specifics. And he's like, holy shit, no, this facility is a really good idea. It would help a lot of people.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, that sounds like a good idea.
Thank you. Yeah, I guess it used to be a nunnery, and he's like, Dan's like, no, it needs to stay with nuns. Nah. I'm poopy butthole.
Sounds about right.
Right.
I'm just imagining Josh Brolin saying that.
Saying poopy butthole.
Yeah.
Imagine a drunk history episode, but it's us just watching clips of the Milk movie with our voiceovers.
Yes.
Guys, what do you think?
I love drunk history. I think that was my favorite. This is why I was all like, I'll do this podcast. It sounds like we'll just be like drunk history.
I mean, here we are. Tee hee hee hee. So yeah, Harvey reads this like, no, this is balling his shit. We need to have this. So he decides to switch his vote, which would essentially ensure Dan's loss on the issue.
Yeah.
And suffice to say, Dan was pretty pissed off. and he saw this as a very personal betrayal. And in retaliation, he would go on to oppose every single initiative or issue that Harvey brought forth or supported. He's like, being the fucking pettiest ass kindergartner. Like, me. I was about to say, my name's Josh Brolin, but my name's Sam White. Fuck you. Me.
That sounds about right.
You stole my crayon. Fuck you.
I'm pretty sure we don't get listeners who are white conservative politicians, but like,
I'd be very shocked.
That sounds like them. Yeah, I would be very shocked if we had those kind of listeners. Like, you're conservative and you're listening to like two queer people and one of them's Latina. What? Okay. Like, why are you here?
What is it like this? Oh no, I think it was first episode where like you went on your rant about why you won't go into haunted houses because you're not wide enough for that bullshit.
Yeah.
It was so goddamn funny.
And then I went to that exact haunted house. And I'm like, ugh.
Good times. Cheers.
Good times.
So they become enemies because Wine's a petty ass. Because Dan White, he's a petty ass bitch. Fuck him. Go rot in hell, son of a bitch. So from there, their relationship would never be the same. You know, enemies. Not enemies to lovers. No.
None of that in here.
Do you think people ship Harvey Milk and Dan White? I'm genuinely concerned about this.
They shouldn't. That's a problematic ship right there. I don't like that. I don't condone it, so people shouldn't.
If that is,
I know there's some weird historical shippers out there, but no, don't.
You can ship Napoleon with whoever you want, but the second you start shipping Harvey Milk and Dan White in my house, we're gonna have a problem.
Yeah, I'm like, no.
So, unfortunately, another problem arose. The League of Villains strikes again. It's shocking, I know. How could they?
Are we still in the 70s, or has it moved on to the 80s now?
We're going to always stay in the 70s.
Yeah. I forget. I don't know time.
That's okay. So this is still 1977 at this point.
1977. Okay.
Yeah. Getting close to 78, but still at 77. So at this time, there was a California ballot initiative, Proposition 6. This proposed law would have made firing gay teachers and any public school employees who supported gay rights mandatory. Super fucked up. Now, who spearheaded this initiative, you might ask? Why none other than the League of Villains themselves? I'm Senator John Briggs and India Bryant.
I'm so angry. That's so fucked up.
It's really fucked up.
Ugh.
So,
this makes me really glad that when I was 13, I was very out, except at church, because I was a Mormon chick, and I was like, I'm gonna be a good Mormon.
I'm gonna make out with the other Mormon girls
on Sundays. Shut up. Shush. But I was a queer little kid, and I saw one of my teachers out, and she was a very butch lady. Like, she was very buff. She had tattoos everywhere, very edgy haircut, and the hottest femme girlfriend or partner. I don't know what they were, but like, I saw them at a mall once, and I watched them from afar, and I was like, hell yeah. And that's why I'm the way I am now.
Did you psychically read my notes? What the fuck? So next to my notes, I had in their numerous debates, John Briggs maintained that homosexual teachers wanted to abuse and recruit children, Harvey Milk responded with statistics that showed that this was absolutely not the case, and dismissed him with one-liner jokes, such as, quote, if it were true that children mimicked their teachers, you'd sure have a hell of a lot more nuns running around. So.
Oh! Throwing it the other way, yeah.
Damn.
And do they? No, they don't have a bunch of nuns running around.
So, with strong, effective opposition from Harvey and other politicians, because the initiative itself was so vague that it could also lead to numerous straight people being fired as well. And it was just like, everyone around them was like, y'all really? Really?
Right?
Okay.
Like, just because I'm a decent human being means I can lose my job because I support and want people to be safe and have a safe space? Like, no.
Exactly. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. So, thankfully...
I was going to say, sorry, I'm, like, cutting in this story so much.
No, you're good.
Have I told you about the time when I think I was still 13. I actually later on went to a different school, and it was like a completely different scenario where it was a very homophobic situation. Like, everyone kind of had I didn't come out.
Your teacher, I do remember.
Yeah. So my homeroom teacher, and I think she was my math teacher, I can't remember, because like I forced my mom to like get me back into my old school after like 2 months at that place, because I was like, if you don't, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I was so depressed at that time because I was not sure how to feel with anything, and I also skipped school for like 2 weeks straight because like my homeroom and math teacher, she was like, you need to stop talking about your sexuality because you're making other people uncomfortable. And I'm like, I don't even fucking talk to anyone. And so I don't know how people have the idea that I'm gay except for how I am. Like, I know I exude gay energy, but like at 13, I was like, excuse me, like, I don't fucking talk to any of these kids. I'm a new kid. I don't have any friends yet.
No.
None of the people here like any of the same stuff that I like. Like, I was a complete total outsider at that school. And then in my English class, we were learning about World War II, and we were doing this project where we had to have 3 sticky notes. One where you write something that you like, something that you hate, and something you dislike. Yeah. And someone in my class wrote gay people on the dislike chart, where like they put it on their sticky note and put it on the dislike chart that they had. And so like she was reading these out, and then like that English teacher, like, thankfully she was like, she started yelling at everyone, pretty much reprimanding them for being like, you don't know who is gay. You don't know what's going on with their lives. Like, someone in your family or one of your friends could be gay, and you don't know their struggles right now, and you don't know what they're dealing with. And every single person in my class just stared at me throughout that whole lecture, that like of her like reprimanding everyone. And I was just like so mad and so terrified at the same time. And then I was just like, fuck this place. I'm not going to come back.
Do not blame you at all. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Like if it wasn't for her to be able to be like, you guys shouldn't do that shit. Like, that is fucked up. Like, you need to like understand that someone close to you or someone that you might not even know, and like but you care about, like, you don't know them that well, like, but you care and have, like, you hold them close to your heart. Like, you don't know if they are or not, like, and they're still human beings. Like, you shouldn't treat them like that. Like, no. Anyways, I have lots of feelings.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. And I'm like, I probably could have had like a lawsuit with that school at some point if I had like actually opened up and been like, this fucking teacher said this about me, like said this to me, like with my homeroom teacher. But I didn't know because I was 13. Yeah. And then when I looked into it like 10 years later, when I was all like, that was really fucked up, like I should have been able to do something about that. That school actually closed down and like, had really bad like review, like parents would review it like really badly, and they're like, this is a shitty place to go. And I'm like, yeah, it was a very shitty place.
Mixed feelings. I'm really mad that it happened, but I'm glad that the school got closed down because that's fucked up all around. I'm very sorry that you had to go through that.
It was a very bad environment, but like, I think that if it didn't happen, I wouldn't have been able to have this, like, I wouldn't have realized how terrible like the world is or could be, and how wanting to, like, it made me want to become an even more out there person. Be like, you can't, like, you can try to hurt me with words or whatever, but like, it's not going to change who I am. And then when I moved to Utah, I was like hella gay.
You were hella.
Everything was rainbow. I had a shaved head. I was in ROTC, and I was in Provo. Provo.
Aww. Aww. So that's why this is important, because also, like, I didn't ever learn about Harvey Milk in school, which is also fucked up, because...
Right, yeah. I didn't learn about him until, like, that movie came out, and I was like, oh, there was this gay politician doing all this shit back in the 70s. That's crazy.
Like, how do we not know about this sooner? Like, the fuck?
And, like, seeing, like, that there was people fighting, like, in our history for our rights, it made me even more so of a, I'm going to shove this in people's faces until they realize it doesn't change who I am as a person. Just because it makes you uncomfortable doesn't mean that you have to invalidate me as a person.
No. I didn't tell shit about Stonewall, so now I'm like, listen, I gotta tell everyone. Everyone about Stonewall. So, where were we? Where did we leave?
Sorry. I was like, teachers, tangents, I must say things.
Trauma, hello.
Trauma.
You're so strong.
Like that 1 year, I went through like a complete, like, I see like love openly out in public, and then I see the complete opposite that same year, and it's crazy.
I guess I can't even fucking imagine. It's just we're getting better. We still have a ways to go.
Yeah, there's a lot that still needs to be done.
So much so. So yeah, if we are yelling at you guys about gay rights,
it's because we're queer and we're here.
We're here, we're queer. We have a lot of shit to talk about. Thank you.
We have feelings.
We have feelings. So, thankfully, Proposition 6 was defeated. Turned down.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness. And following this whole shebang, the attendance at, like, attendance swelled at gay pride marches in San Francisco and Los Angeles. Because these were kind of the first ones happening at this time. Like, it was big fucking deal. It was so fucking cool. Gay history pumps me up. And so Harvey Milk was also there, and along with others, and campaigning against these discriminatory laws. And alcohol makes brain no work.
I would have never guessed. I would have never known.
Thank you for your patience, everybody. So, in one of his speeches that he gave at these marches, Harvey spoke of the American ideal of equality, proclaiming, quote, "Gay people, we will not win our rights by staying quietly in our closets. We are coming out to fight the lies, the myths, the distortions. We are coming out to tell the truth about gays, for I'm tired of the conspiracy of silence. So I'm going to talk about it. And I want you to talk about it. You must come out." End quote. I won't cry during this episode. I won't do it.
Closets are for hangers.
Closets are for hangers. So
be pro-choice and let the queers be out.
Cheers to that. Clink.
Clink.
So we've gotten to this point in the story. Moving on. In November of 1978. So 10 months after he was sworn in, Dan White resigned his position as supervisor, saying that the annual salary that he was receiving was not enough to support his family. Then a few days later, Dan comes back. He's like, "Listen, I need you to withdraw that resignation I gave you, and I want to be reinstated." And the mayor's like, okay, I guess. And then he thinks about it a bit later, and he's like, no, not going to do that, because I need to appoint someone more in line with, the growing diversity that we're seeing, and someone with more liberal leanings on this board to even it out.
Yeah.
So, Mayor Mascarpone, he planned to announce Dan's replacement on November 27th, 1978. However, Dan had other plans. A half hour before the press conference, Dan White approached City Hall carrying a concealed gun in his jacket. He avoided metal detectors by entering through a basement window, first off, and he made his way to Mayor Mascarpone's office, where Dan asked to speak with him in private. So they go to the mayor's study, and he offers Dan a drink. However, an argument broke out between the two, and moments later, Dan White took out his gun and he shot John Mascarpone once in the shoulder, once in the chest, but then, seeing that he was still alive, proceeded to shoot him twice in the head.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck, yeah. Dan then quickly walked to his former office, reloading his revolver with hollow point bullets along the way. As important note. There he found Harvey Milk and asked to talk with him. So Harvey invited him in, but before he could speak again, Dan pulled the gun on him. Harvey was shot first in the wrist as he brought his arms up to protect himself.
Yeah.
Then Dan shot him twice in the chest. After seeing that he was also still alive, proceeded to shoot him again, this time twice in the head. So Harvey was shot 5 times. Harvey Milk was 48 years old, and George Mascarpone was 49 years old. Yeah. So, following this tragedy, Dan immediately fled the scene, where after calling his wife from a payphone, he decided to turn himself in. And he went to the police station that he had previously been an officer at, because he knew he'd get special treatment. So, that night, a crowd of more than 30,000 people spontaneously came together on Castro Street, and they marched to City Hall in a silent candle vigil that has been, it's been recognized as one of the most, eloquent responses to violence that a community has ever expressed. Because everyone is grieving. They lost their mayor, they lost Harvey Milk in one day, which, side note, was fascinating to learn. So after this happens, people are running into the street being like, holy shit, the news! Because, again, it's 1978. And people were getting mixed up. They're like, holy shit, the mayor got assassinated. And they're like, no, Harvey Milk got assassinated, because they couldn't fathom both of them dying in one day.
They both happened. They thought it was just one or the other.
One or the other. So it makes me mad. So,
yeah.
Yeah, so there's the vigil that happened, and the following day, thousands of mourners attended the services for both the mayor and Harvey Milk, as they openly grieved for these two because they lost them.
Yeah.
So from early on in his political career, Harvey had received death threats daily, and this has kind of become a norm for him, which is also really fucking sad.
Yeah.
So he was aware of the likelihood of his assassination, and because of this, he recorded several versions of his will. So he was convinced that he would be assassinated one day, and his friends around him were like, no offense, but you don't have really a high enough position for that to be a reality. Which, to be fair, in the grand scheme of things, in politics, it wouldn't be as high to have a target on your back.
But for being who he is.
For being who he is, exactly. So,
because they're like, if he can get into that position, then someone else can get into a higher position. And it can escalate. And that's what people were afraid of.
Exactly. So, it breaks my heart because he knew this, and because of that, he recorded several versions of his will to be read in the event of his assassination, is what they said. One of the tapes contained the now famous statement, quote, "If a bullet should enter my brain, let that bullet destroy every closet door." Which breaks my heart, and I'm not going to cry. So his nephew, Stuart Milk, he was a teenager at the time, and he was very close to this uncle. He came out. He was also gay, along with countless others across the nation on the day his uncle died. So, his entire political career, Harvey Milk had been telling people, you need to come out. Once people see that, they have a gay neighbor, they have a gay best friend, they have a gay family member, they'll start to see us differently. And so when he did get assassinated, that really brought people forward to me, like, you know what, I am here. We're not going to take this.
Yeah. It's kind of like a, this is who I am situation. This could happen to me. And
exactly,
it's sad. That's like pretty much like also like what my teacher in middle school was trying to say, like you are ignorant about, and like you don't know of anyone who's around you that could be afraid of coming out because of the things that you're saying.
Exactly.
And that you aren't able to accept them for who they are right now.
So it breaks my heart that he knew, I guess, and prepared, which, side note, when last year for my birthday, me and Alex went to San Francisco and we visited the GLBT museum. It's not LGBT, it's GLBT. I don't know why. But there they actually had the suit that Harvey Milk was shot in. And I didn't see it at first because there's a screen that has a picture of his face and his feet just playing. And it's not until you get up really close that you see his suit behind that. And that was, it was a powerful moment, but also like
a solemn.
Yeah, it was a very solemnly powerful, be like, oh my God, that's.
Like you just like are faced with the reality of like that actually happened. This is actually what could have happened. This can happen.
Which is, Are you ready to get even more angry?
Yeah. I'll be angry. Tell me things.
So soon after this came Dan White's trial. And this is where it gets even more messed up. So for starters, the jury on Dan's trial consisted of white middle-class people who were mostly Catholic. Those that were gay or ethnic minorities were excused from the jury pool. Yep. And when it came to the trial itself, the defendant knew that he could use this to his advantage. So whenever reciting the events, he would go out of his way to show that, like, oh, Dan, this family man, this good, like, Christian man, he just kind of accidentally shot Harvey Milk, this gay man. Oh, no. Every fucking time, go out of his way to do this. And at one point, he even played Dan's confession tape for the jury. And they fucking cried out of sympathy for this scumbag.
I am so angry. I can only imagine how this trial went.
Oh! Just you wait! So, Dan White's defense attorney, he argued that his client was not responsible for his actions and used the legal defense known as diminished capacity. Quote, good people, fine people with fine backgrounds, simply don't kill people in cold blood, end quote.
Then why did he kill in cold blood?
So it's actually because of this trial that you can't use diminished capacity as much. Like, it's kind of a fucking joke now, because...
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Really?
Like, he confessed to it. He still murdered them.
Broad fucking daylight, mate. So...
Like, and it was... obviously, 5 shots is intentional.
And the fact that he walked through the basement to...
yeah, he...
evade the metal detector. Like...
Yeah, he purposely took away that he knew what he was doing.
Knew what he's fucking doing. Exactly. Which is just... So, it's fucking messed up. And his attorney tried to prove that Dan's anguished mental state was as a result from the manipulation by the politicians in City Hall who had, promised him his job and then took it away.
He resigned.
He resigned, and he said that, Dan White, he was depressed. A depressed person could not plan out murder. I'm like,
what?
Yep. Mm-hmm. It gets better. So he also said that Dan's mental deterioration, blah, 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 was exacerbated by his junk food binge on the night before the murders, since he was usually known to be health food conscious and thus could not be held accountable for his crimes. So he says, you know what, this guy was really fit. He just ate too much sugar. He just binged on junk food and, made him murder 2 people. So
if you binge on junk food is what's going to make you murder people, like, a lot of Americans have to watch out.
Gotta fucking watch it. So I'm guessing about this.
That's probably offensive and upsetting to a lot of people, but like I
also binge on stories.
Food. I am so mad. Like, you can't use food as an excuse.
Nope. So the area newspapers, they quickly dubbed it the Twinkie defense, which I'm pretty sure everyone has heard. Harvey Milk, the Twinkie defense. This is what it fucking is. They didn't actually talk about Twinkies, but they might as well have. And because of this goddamn Twinkie defense, Dan White was acquitted of first-degree murder charges on May 21st, 1979, but was found guilty of voluntary manslaughter, which is kind of heat of the moment killing, so it's it's less of a crime than because he had to prove, his defendant had to prove that it wasn't premeditated, which it was. It fucking was.
How could it not be premeditated if he brought a gun in, fucking went through the basement window, and then went out, talked to the person who he didn't have who he resigned to, shot him multiple times,
reloaded his fucking gun,
and reloaded his gun. Yeah, he reloaded his gun, and then specifically went over to talk to Harvey Milk and shot him 5 times. And then 2 in the head too for both of them is no, you don't do that if you're not trying to make sure they're dead.
And that just makes me so fucking mad too, just the overkill and the weird. It's spooky in a way with Harvey's quote, should a bullet enter my brain? And lo and behold, it did. Which is this whole story. I'm sorry, guys. I just feel like it's
fucked up.
It's fucked up. So Dan White, was found guilty of voluntary manslaughter, and he was sentenced to serve 7 years in prison, which is a light fucking sentence, if you ask me.
Yeah. For 2 first-degree murders, that's a very fucking light sentence.
Yeah. And so once news of the verdict got out, it ended up igniting what would be known as the White Night Riots. So, you'll get a kick out of this. Enraged citizens swarmed City Hall, and they were chanting, "Avenge Harvey Milk," and "He got away with murder." Because they're fucking mad. Because he got away with murder.
As they should be, because, he got away with murder.
And so pandemonium rapidly escalated as rocks were hurled at the front doors of the building, and rows of police cars were set on fire. One of the rioters responded to a reporter's question about why they were destroying parts of the city. And this person said, quote, "Just tell them that we ate too many Twinkies. That's why this is happening." And I'm like, fucking mic drop. Okay. Go off.
Fuck yeah.
Love that. So
I had too many Doritos. Look at me now.
So they are basically setting City Hall on fire at this point. Rightfully
I would
so.
too.
Fucking. How many goddamn years later, we're still fucking mad. So Milk's friends and
I will never stop being mad.
No. I will yell into a podcast about how angry you are. So, while still going on, Milk's friends and aides tried to stop the destruction, but the mob of more than 3,000 ignored them. And when the police showed up, the peaceful protesters, they were trying to get everyone to calm down. They're like, hey guys, calm down or we'll be arrested. We won't be arrested if you guys just stop now. Ha 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 ha. So
or if there's enough of them, they can't arrest them all.
You would think. But no.
I would hope.
No.
I would dream. And in the good timeline.
In the good timeline. This is the bad place. So,
this is the bad place.
This is the bad place.
This has been the bad place for a long time.
Too long. Oof. So they're like, guys, come down. And when the police get there, the backup, they just charge the mob and start beating the shit out of everybody. Even those that were calm and complying, they're beating up everybody. And
this is why I don't like cops.
Big mood. So then the police officers, they also retaliated by raiding the Castro district and started vandalizing gay businesses, and they just started beating people up on the street. And by morning, 61 police officers and 100 citizens were hospitalized. So that was fun. On a lighter note.
So angry.
So angry. So fucking angry.
I'm so angry.
So angry.
I can't.
Well, I have a little uppy. So the day after this would have been Harvey Milk's 49th birthday. So all of his friends and those that knew him, they gathered together on Castro Street and they threw this big party to celebrate him, which is actually really sweet. So everyone was just drinking and dancing in the street, and they just overall had a good time and sang happy birthday for him. And I'm not crying, you're crying.
I'm not crying, I'm angry.
Both.
I'm angry.
Both.
Maybe I'll angry cry, but not right now.
Okay, fair. Oh, maybe this will make you angry cry. So, Dan White's, his stay in prison makes me fucking angry. Because he was a former police officer and he knew the other officers where he was given special treatment, such as a better cell and better living conditions. And he was given the option for food not served in the prison cafeteria. So he got fucking takeout. I'm not shitting you. I'm shitting you not. And he was also able to have conjugal visits. Eat shit, Dan.
No!
So
he deserves to rot in hell.
Thank you. So it was a little while later, his wife got pregnant, and everyone that knew Harvey were like, what the fuck? This guy should not be having conjugal visits. He murdered 2 people.
Yeah.
So he ended up serving a little more than 5 years for the double homicide. Yeah, he got on good behavior. I'm
so angry.
I'm happy to say that a year and a half following his release in October of 1985, Dan White was found dead. He had committed suicide by locking himself in his garage and attaching a hose to his car, and then he died of carbon monoxide poisoning. So he was 39 years old. Eat shit in hell. Good. Yeah.
Great. That's what he deserves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I have zero sympathy for you. You can... Let's fight his ghost. Let's fight Dan.
I'm glad that his guilt killed him.
I don't even think it was his fucking guilt. It was the fact that, he got out. I didn't put it in my notes, but let me tell you. So he got out, and people knew him were fucking mad still because, yeah, they would be.
Mm-hmm.
And so he would start, people would be like, hey, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out, Dan White. He's like, ugh. So at one point he grew a beard, too, to, disguise himself. And then...
yes, a beard to cover my ugly butt chin.
My ugly butt chin. And then, for a little while, he moved his entire family to Ireland, where in Europe, no one had heard of Harvey Milk. And he was super stoked. Mm-hmm. But eventually, because of financial reasons, they had to move back. And I guess the mayor of San Francisco, the one that took over after Last one was assassinated, when she found out that he had committed suicide, she was actually relieved because for the longest time she's like, oh fuck, he's gonna get murdered by like a gay vigilante. I'm like,
Mm-hmm. Me. I'm the gay vigilante.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's me.
So I think it's the fact that he had to live with his actions.
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating. So I'm gonna give you.
Now I can't stop eating Doritos.
Oh, I want Doritos. So I'm gonna end this off with a happy note. I'm gonna tell you about Harvey Milk's legacy. So although he spent less than a year in office, which still baffles me, Milk's brief time in the public eye marked an important stepping stone for the battle of gay rights.
Yeah.
His story became known to wider audiences through both Randy Schilt's 1982 biography, The Mayor of Castro Street, and Rob Epstein's 1984 Oscar-winning documentary, The Times of Harvey Milk. Additionally, more elected officials came forth to acknowledge their homosexuality during this period.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
Because who knew? Gay people exist everywhere.
What? Could have fooled me. Dun, dun, dun.
The radical thought.
Radical thoughts. So additionally, like... Ugh. Burpee. So in subsequent years, Milk's name was attached to a series of schools, buildings, and public centers throughout California. He was the subject of another acclaimed film in 2008, featuring Sean Penn, the movie Milk.
Yeah, it was 2008.
Yeah, won an Academy Award.
I just moved to Utah, and I was hanging out with my cousin, who's also gay. I am the gay cousin, and he's also the gay cousin. So we hang out.
Spider-Man meme.
It's a Spider-Man meme all the time.
I love it so much. Let's see. So, in 2009, the activist's May 22nd birthday was formally recognized in California as Harvey Milk Day. And he was also honored with the Presidential Medal of Freedom by Barack Obama, which his nephew, Stuart Milk, he actually accepted it on his behalf. And I was like, my heart. And his nephew, Stuart, he actually created the Milk Foundation as well, which helps So it helps with advocacy within the LGBT community and other groups. Super fucking cool.
Yeah.
And on Castro Street, there is also a memorial plaque that reads, quote, "His life is an inspiration to all committed to equal opportunity and an end to bigotry."
Yeah.
And that is my very emotional felt story on Harvey Milk. Thank you.
That's my round of applause for this great, amazing, emotional story that we've been through.
I'm sorry that was 9 pages and took almost 2 hours. Originally, it was
fine.
13.
That's fine. It's probably because of my stories, because I'm a small gay queer person who's like, I have feelings and thoughts about the homosexualities.
I think I accidentally cut it out, but if you go back to when him and Scott got together, the dog I mentioned, it was that when they first moved to before they moved to Castro Street, they were like traveling around for a year, which sounds pretty baller. They're just like staying in like national parks and like camping, living the gay life.
That's what I want to do with my boo one day.
Your boo one day.
Whichever
attention boos. Hello.
Booze.
But so they adopted a shelter dog named the Kid. It's like, the Kid. So I just like wanted to like show you guys how cool Harvey Milk was, and like he was really for people. I wanted to be also transparent about our heroes, that they're not perfect.
That's true. Like that was a very shitty thing that he did earlier on, but he also did a lot of great things. And I'm sad that like he did do that terrible thing to Bill, but like he's like, it doesn't take away from the things that he has been able to accomplish with what he's done.
Like all of our heroes are humans, and I think we need to acknowledge that more.
Yeah. Like it doesn't make excuses. Like,
no.
Sorry, I'm very burpy. I finished that can so quick.
Too strong.
But like, we're not perfect. We can't always make the right choices every single time to make sure that we can get our message across. Like,
exactly.
Sometimes people we are human. We make mistakes. We can be selfish and not think about the bigger picture a lot. And that's understandable. I'm just. Also, I was at PetSmart because Moo got a haircut.
I saw his
And
haircut.
it's so cute. We
boy.
both got haircuts. And I was like just looking around because like it's been the first time in like a month and a half where I was away from him for so long. And so I was all like, he did not want to leave with the groomer. And so I was all like, go, it's fine. But he was like, he has separation anxiety because he's also a rescue. I'm his third owner. And so I was like looking at new stuff to get him, and I got him a new harness that's more comfortable looking for him. That's like not just like just straps. It's just it actually has like a small padding to it, so it's more comfortable. And I saw like this cute little rainbow thing that said "I love my moms," and I'm like, oh,
I saw that.
I was like, man, if he had 2 moms, I would get it, but he only has 1 mom right now. Like, wink, wink. No,
wink,
I'm
guys.
kidding.
Hello,
I'm kidding.
hello. Do you
I'm
guys?
kidding.
Is there a boo out there that wants to be Moo's second mom?
No, I'm the only mom.
Slide into these DMs.
Do not. I've had people slide in my DMs before, not from this podcast, but
not yet.
Please don't. Please do not slide into my DMs. I'm a very awkward person. What was I saying? Anyways, gay pride. I love being gay.
Which
I don't.
Oh, did I fuck? I don't think I told you. I didn't even realize, but apparently back at the end of April in downtown Salt Lake, there is now a Harvey Milk mural down there.
Really?
It's black and white in his face, and I want to go see it really bad.
Oh, we should go see it. That'll be like our reunion time. When we can see each other for the first time in forever.
I will cry.
I won't wear makeup because I will cry for sure. And then I'll be like, I'm gonna go hit you guys with my car because I don't want to see you anymore. But I will miss you. I'm kidding. I won't hit you with my car because I have feelings. See, I'm emotionally constipated. I can't do this.
A Pisces? What? Shocking.
What? No, it's because my Venus is an Aquarius. I thought it was in Capricorn. And I was like, this makes a little bit of sense. But Aquarius makes more sense with the emotional constipation, okay?
And here we are.
This is who I am. I am queer, and I am here.
Happy almost Harvey Milk Day, though this will come out much after Harvey Milk Day.
But this will come out during Pride Month, right?
It should, yeah.
Right? Hope if we're
our schedule's fucked. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, time does not exist. Every day is Pride for me.
Every day is Pride if you're not a fucking pussy.
Yeah, like me.
Yes. All right, guys, we're gonna take a quick break because I need to get some food and pee really fast. I'm
gonna get wine.
You need wine? Smart. Okay, we'll be right back.
Yeah.
Oop, and we're back.
Oh, we're back?
We're back.
I'm still eating Doritos.
I'm also eating dinner. So it's fine.
Okay. But this is fine, because I will figure out where I put my story. Is this my story? This isn't my story. No, this isn't my story. I have my story in my phone. Not on my phone, but like in my documents that is synced up with my phone. So I'm like, because like when we record in person, we only use one computer to like have all this stuff going on. And then we have like our iPads and we have more space to look at other stuff.
It's true.
And so like this time I'm just like, I'm going to use my phone with my new photo card from when I bought 10 albums recently. 10 K-pop albums.
V has become too strong.
My left arm is sore from holding albums.
We went to Vegas the other day and bought so much.
Look. Personally, I get there's probably gonna be a lot of hate about like it's still quarantine and stuff. And like the thing is, I went with someone that has been self-quarantined also for
I feel like it was just the two of you and you guys were being safe, so.
yeah, it's over. He's been self-quarantined. It was my cousin. He's been self-quarantined for 2 months, and I've been self-quarantined for like 5, almost 6 weeks, or 6 weeks already, and almost 7. I don't know. And then like we've slowly been like, okay, we'll go hang out together. We celebrated Mother's Day together with our parents and stuff, and we're like, okay, like let's go to Vegas because the K-pop stores are open over there for some reason. And so we went and we wore masks and we were very careful. We had hand sanitizer everywhere and we were both dying because like I think I left. We went 2 days ago from right now when we're recording. And like 2 days before that, I had went drinking and not went drinking. I went drinking in my room. I was drinking wine, just like this wine, my house wine, my rosé. And then I, as an old 28-year-old, was like dying the next day. And then I went to Vegas. And so, like, the hand sanitizer, every time we're like, oh, this is reminding me of that night. And he had went drinking, like, the day before I keep saying we went drinking, but we were drinking at our house. He was drinking the day before.
You went drinking with the ghost in your house. There we go.
I don't have ghosts in my house. They left me. Yeah, I am. But, like, he was drinking the day before I was drinking. And so, like, we were both, and he's 30, and we're both dying from the smell of that hand sanitizer from, like, every gas station we went to get gas, every time we would get food or any, like, we were just, like, hand sanitizer everywhere, washing our hands like crazy, masks everywhere. Like, at a point, I had, like a disposable mask, and then I wore, like, a fabric mask on top of it, because I'm all like, I don't trust anything. It's not safe out there.
No, I trust you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Is it unprofessional to eat on a podcast?
I don't know.
I promise we try and create high quality content, but also we record around dinner time and my mom made tots. You gotta understand, my mom made tater tots.
I'm drunk.
Me as well. Because I had no food.
And, like, I didn't even know I had half a bag of, like, Doritos until you start talking about, like, snacks and whatnot. About that stupid Dan White guy. And I was like, Doritos! They're right there! So I had to grab another bag of Doritos.
I understand. I know, we do genuinely try and eat away from the mic, I promise. We're really good at this whole,
quality content here.
Thank you.
ASMR.
Maybe there's a niche market for this. Oh, you know what? It could feel like, you know when you get really into a podcast and you're like, oh, I'm like hanging out with friends, because those are the ones I really like, because you get to know people along the way, yada yada.
Yeah.
This could feel like you guys are there, maybe in your car, maybe just like hanging out with your cat. You're like, I want a little snack. I want a little crunchy wunchy. But I feel weird eating it alone. So,
yeah,
here we are.
That reminds me.
Eating with you.
When I was 21, I was 7 years ago.
Which takes time. Is this the vomit on the couch or the other one?
No. This isn't drinking or anything. It was just like I would come home, and at the time, I was living with my mom and my grandparents. They were staying with us. Because, like, now me and my mom live together because we bought a place together because, like, we were renting two different places at the same time. We're like, and, like, she lost her job at one point, and I was like, well, I'll move back in, like I'll help. And then it was kind of like, why we're two single ladies. We have two completely different like lifestyle choices. Like she works at night and I work during the day when I have a job.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like on the weekends we see each other sometimes. And it's like really cool because it's like, hey, I miss you. Like, let's hang out.
I love that so much.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, so my grandparents, when I was 21, they were living with us. And I felt very awkward because, like, I could never go into the kitchen because the kitchen was never empty. There was always someone cooking. It's either my mom or my grandma. It's never empty. Everyone's always making food. And it got, like... Have you ever gotten that anxiety where like there's too many options, so you're like, I can't eat. There's too much. I can't eat. I can't do any of this.
My problem is I get hangry, and it gets to a certain point where I'm like, I don't want food, and now it's like,
yeah,
babe,
food makes me so angry.
Eat the food. I'm like, no. She's like, can't eat the goddamn chicken. I'm like, oh wait.
Yeah. So like, I was working at a fast food place, and I would come home. And, like, I would I would get free food at work, and so I'd be like, okay, well, I'll just eat this at home, like at the dining table or whatever. But, like, I would go and park my car in front of my place, and I could hear my grandparents. I knew they were on the bottom floor, and my grandpa's deaf, and my grandma did not have a volume level on her. She was always really loud or asleep. No, there's the only two options. She was asleep or she was really loud. That's it. So I'd always hear them and I'd be like, I don't want to go inside because I don't want to eat in front of them, especially if they made so much food and they're like, why don't you eat our food? So I would eat in my car all the time. That's my story. So I would eat in my car in front of my house all the time.
If you guys are eating in your car because you have anxiety about going in, which we understand, you could listen to this and be like, no, I'm eating with friends. This is fine.
Yeah. Also, if you've had friends who have told you that you chew too loud, like
Fuck
I have,
them.
I've had people be like, I can't think about eating in front of you if we're eating this type of food. Because I chew loud, apparently, and I'm like, I'm sorry.
Wait,
that's just who I am.
You chew loud?
Apparently. I've been trying for a long time to, like, not chew loud anymore because of that.
Buddy, you can chew loud.
I can chew with my mouth open now. It's fine. Yeah. I'm 28 years old. But, like, it was an anxiety I had. It's like,
I understand.
Chew as however you want. Chew and swallow what you... No, well, maybe not what you want.
You guys can eat a handful of chips and we will not judge. We'll be like, yeah, you get those chips.
Eat all the chips that you desire. Mm-hmm. That is the healthy. Oh, it doesn't care. I don't care. Eat as much chips as you want. Fuck the police.
Fuck the police. I love Chex Mix. I've eaten a lot of Lucky Charms in quarantine.
I
love Lucky Charms. So
I crave salads because I don't see them anymore. I had a salad yesterday.
I love that picture. Wine. Got my wine and my salad ready to do my notes.
It was a seltzer. It was
the White Claw. Seltzer. It's a White Claw. That's right.
It wasn't a White Claw, but it was something similar. It had like the mermaid on
Press.
it. And I was like, yeah.
Press, right?
Is it? I
thought it was the white can.
It was also a white can. I got it at the liquor store. I didn't. I got like a bunch of different ones because I got a couple of the rosés. I've had one of them already. I got one of the lemonade Rita, which I just finished, and then it was like a prickly pear alcoholic seltzer. I don't remember. I don't know.
Well, speaking of notes, is there a story you have for me?
Do you want to hear a story?
I do want to hear a story.
Guess what? I've got a story for you.
Ooh, I love our guessing game. Is it paranormal? True crime? Conspiracy?
It's true crime today.
Crime?
Yeah.
What decade are we talking? always forget. Big mood. Is it in the U.S. or is it out of state?
It's in the U.S.
Yes. Okay.
The crimes happen in the 70s. He's actually it's a he.
It's a he. Okay.
It's someone I've mentioned before in an episode. And I was like, oh, I want to do a story about him one day. And I forgot that I said that because I did this story recently. But we were drunk, so you probably don't remember.
I've been over this before. I edit the episode, so I generally remember what we said, but I cannot for the life of me remember what we kept in. So again, if we say anything that doesn't make sense, you can 100% tell us, because otherwise you won't know.
Does this sound fun when I'm right against this pop filter? ASMR.
Poopy butt.
Poopy butt.
Is it one that I would know?
I would assume, since he's pretty famous. But I don't know. One of his most famous murders is someone that he's related to. But what's most notable about him?
Wait. Is it the co-ed killer? Did I get it?
Is it the co-ed killer?
Did I get
Is
it?
it the man
Did I get it?
6'9" with an IQ of 146?
Was it 146?
Yeah.
Are you sure he didn't lie?
He's a smart boy.
Why is he so tall?
Why am I doing this voice? Like, he's a smart, tall boy.
Why? He got no business being 6'9".
Right?
Fuck.
Ooh, sorry, I said that a little too loud. Okay. Tonight, today, this morning, wherever you may be, dear listeners, and Kate.
I'm trying to think like what I actually know about the co-ed killer, and it is much like every true crime story you do. I genuinely don't know, because your boy can remember 1,000 cryptid facts, but alas, here I am. That's why it's fine.
That's fine. Because, like, that, I think it was you who showed me the tweet, or it might have been my friend who showed me the tweet that's like, people just make podcasts where they get drunk and read off Wikipedia pages. And I'm like, that's me. That's who I am.
That was last episode. That's right, because I saw that before we recorded. It was like, I'm tired of all these true crime podcasts. These white girls like getting drunk and like misreading the wiki articles. I was like, God damn.
That's me. That's literally who I am. And how dare you call me out? I'm not white. I just drunk. So let me try to open this.
Yes. ASQR. This is very it's no longer quarantine, it's queers. ASQR.
I forgot what my I don't remember anything
about
my story. I don't remember anything about my story anymore.
I'm so excited though. I remember something about a sticker being on his car, I think.
Oh. Mama,
Right?
sit down.
Right? Something?
I'm like, let me see if I can get... Oof, my pop filter fell off. Can you see? No, he ran away.
Oh no.
He's just-
there he is! Hi,
By my
baby.
bed. He wants
best
to
boy.
go. He wants to go outside. Let me fix my pop filter because that popped off. Ha. That's not gonna work. I don't know how I had this on before. Mama. You're okay. Oops,
No, he got a pit pat.
He's got a pit pat, and he's gonna whine, and then he's gonna bark, and then I'm gonna have to be like, I can't
No,
walk you right now
no.
while I'm half drunk. I'm still. Come on. What do you want from me? Okay.
Is it Tipsy and a mystery?
It's
Then we're here.
We're here. Ooh. Okay. So we've talked about how Edmund Kemper, Ed Kemper, he is 6'9" tall, and his IQ, way too tall. And his IQ is actually 145. I said 146. I was one off.
Sounds like you're a fake fan. Sorry. Did I tell you?
Oh no!
Alex fucking schooled me on Prince the other day, and I'm still mad.
Really?
We're listening to My Name is Prince, the one that's like, my name is Prince, and I am funky. I did not come to fuck around till I get your daughter. I won't leave this town. And Alex like, are you sure he's not saying I did not come to funk around? Like, F-U-N-K? I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure he's saying fuck, because it's Prince. We look it up, and she's right. And ever since then, she's like, ah, yes, me, I, the resident Prince aficionado. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
I'm like, you have so much knowledge in your noggin. Like, sometimes you get mixed up. It's fine. You've got shit going on. Who knows?
Well, continue with your too tall, too smart shit boy. I'm ready.
Yeah. So, this guy's very intimidating for a lot of reasons because of that. It's something that a lot of people notice firsthand from Ed Kemper. Is like they immediately know he was way too big and really, really smart.
Side note, if you guys like hear stuff in my background, I'm sorry. I think there's music playing in the house.
Oh, I can't even hear it.
Sorry, guys.
Hopefully it's not playing. I don't know. On my side, you have a dog whining because he saw that I went to the bathroom and he thinks once I pee, that means he can go pee.
He pee. Two pee.
And I'm like, Moo, chill out. Soon. My story is only like 5 or 6 pages. We've got this. Okay?
I heard his little line.
Okay. What Ed Kemper is known for in the true crime world is that he's killed 6 young women in Santa Cruz, California, including and several members of his family. Moo! Go, run off, go. He's just gonna chill on the bed. He's chilling on the bed.
I'm sorry, continue. So funny.
So, Edmund Kemper. He was born on December 18th, 1948 in Burbank, California. I did not fix this as well as I wanted to. He was the middle child of Edmund Emil Kemper II and Clarnell Kemper. So Clarnell, she would berate her husband for what she perceived as his menial job and refused to coddle her son because she was afraid that it would turn him gay. Toxic masculinity, who?
Don't know her.
Men shouldn't show emotions? What? And this is why people die.
I thought you were saying this is why we need Harvey Milk. I'm like, yeah.
That too.
But both.
That too.
Both.
But like, the thing is, even if he did end up being gay, I feel like it would not be pretty at all.
No.
Which is a sad thing.
Not great. Not great.
Yeah. So, Ed Kemper's father, he worked on a nuclear bomb test in the Pacific. And I'm like, that's a menial job.
Oh, that's right.
What?
Oh, okay.
And he was quoted to have said once that, quote, suicide missions in wartime and the later atomic bomb testings were nothing compared to living with Clarnell.
Yikes. That's all I gotta say on that.
So I can pretty much rest assured to you people that they did not have a happy marriage that lasted very long.
Shocking.
Yeah. Ed Kemper was born in 1948. In 1957, his parents got divorced. Oh, hi, Charlie. She's just crawling underneath my bed.
Burpy boys.
Yeah. Hi, baby. Come on. Not you. I'm sorry. I love you. I'm just like, my baby girl hasn't had time. I haven't shown her affection.
Oh, no.
So, in 1957, Ed Kemper had lived with his mother and his two sisters, and they moved to Montana. And during that time, Kemper had a very difficult... Ed Kemper, the son, had a very difficult relationship with his mom, as she was very critical of him and blamed him for and Kemper, he blamed her for all of his problems.
Okay.
Which is understandable because you're growing up, your brain is pretty much a sponge to accepting what is happening around you at a very young adolescent age as the norm in how you react to the world.
Yes. So, very much so.
Not saying that, like, he's justified in any of this, but...
It gives you insight to the progression of it. Yeah.
Exactly. It kind of shows you how this kind of festered into what it becomes.
Mm-hmm.
Signs of trouble has started to show up pretty early on because Kemper had grown up with fantasizing about murdering his mother at a young age, which is really sad and scary. At that time too, he would also decapitate his sister's dolls' heads. And he apparently, I saw this in an article, that he apparently stalked his second grade teacher outside of her house with his dad's bayonet at a time. Yeah. I think this might have been like when they were still together. I was like, that's really weird.
I don't like that.
Yeah. It gets worse. So
only downhill
his
from here.
first, this isn't a pretty story, but I'll try to get through this quick. I'm like, the dog is whining, the cat is wanting affection and attention, and I gotta get to it apparently.
And we're gay. Hello.
Hi, we're gay.
Welcome to the podcast.
So his first two victims were not people, but they were actually the family cats.
I'm deleting our entire podcast. It's been nice knowing you. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, bye. It's sad. Because at 10, he killed the first family pet cat. I'm not going to go into exactly what he did.
Thank you. I appreciate
13, it. He killed another cat. And it's not pretty. I don't want to go into that. Like,
yeah.
It's just.
Sorry, I can't handle like animal stuff.
Yeah, it's tough, especially when you have pets too, and you're like, I can't imagine doing
No.
anything like that. I can't imagine someone doing that to their own pets. And
I got a fucking tattoo of my cat, so
I want to get something for Charlie somewhere, but I don't know.
So cute.
Maybe like get her name
Aww.
tattooed on me. Except people would be like, "Who's that? Like, who's that guy?" I'm like, "Excuse me, that's my cat."
What a clapback though.
She's a woman cat.
She's
she used to have a uterus at one point. Like, maybe she doesn't identify as a female anymore, but I can't tell because I don't speak cat. But
she's living her best life.
Yeah, she's a good girl. Anyways, also as a child, Ed Kemper would play a game with his sisters.
Oh no!
Called Gas Chamber.
Wait, I remember this.
Yeah, so he would have them blindfold him and lead him to a chair where he pretended to pretty much die and just like writhe in agony and just be like dying right there. He would just pretend to die all the time. So by the age of 15, we're just gonna pass. We're just not gonna think about it. Let's just not worry about it. He had dark fantasies. We know that. He's just there. It's just clouded in his mind. Like, it's just not good. Like, he didn't have a good outlet for this because at 15, he was already 6'4".
At 15?
At 15. I am 28 years old right now. I am 5 foot. Barely. Like, how dare he?
Got 5'2".
Barely.
No, barely.
Anyways, his mom was terrified of him. Like, she would berate this man, or a boy at this time. He's a boy at this time. And, like, ridicule him and, like, be the worst mother ever. One of the worst mothers ever. She would lock him in the basement for him to sleep because she feared for her and her daughter's lives. And I'm like,
there's so much to unpack there. Okay.
Right? You're making him out to be a monster.
That you're creating the monster as well.
Exactly. Like, is this a nature versus nurture kind of situation?
I think it's
like going on, right? It's definitely a combination of both. I think, where like this could have been prevented to like from this extent. Because like I've had traumatic, terrible situations with parental figures in my life. And, like, they scarred me for a long time till I had to go to therapy and be like, you know what? It wasn't my fault.
It was absolutely not your fault.
Yeah. But you hear that at a young age and you're like, you know what? This person who's, like, 40 or something obviously knows what's going on, obviously understands the bigger picture better than I do. So maybe they are right. And at that age, like, even if you're trying to be, like, rebellious or, like, fuck the
no, you still have that voice in your head that's like,
yeah, like,
adults are right.
Exactly. Like, it's hard at that time, especially in this age, I think, or in this time period too. So at like a little bit after this, Ed Kemper had ran away and had went off to live with his dad. He's all like, "Fuck this shit. I'm done with this. I don't need to be treated like this." He goes to his dad. His dad has been remarried. His dad is like, I don't want you here. I don't know if he said those exact words, but he's pretty much like, you got to go back home. And eventually, like, his parents pretty much sent him over to his grandparents.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and they lived in North Fork, California. And they had a farm And Ed did not like it there at all. He was very upset about it. Like, he's just like, this, I, like, it's already bad enough with just my parents, but, like, yeah, he did not like that. Because, like, before he went to live with his grandparents, he had been learning about firearms and stuff and weapons, and I'm like, maybe you shouldn't, but okay.
Yikes.
Right? I'm like, everything is just ingredients to a disaster.
Checking out the boxes, and there's red flags everywhere.
Yeah. Like, this whole thing is just a giant red flag filled with tiny red flags inside.
This is a red flag made out of red flags.
Yeah. So, like, his grandparents took away his rifle when he was living with them. Because he was, like, he had killed a bunch of birds and different small animals, too. Until finally, this 15-year-old was filled with so much rage that on August 27th, 1964, he had shot his grandmother in the kitchen after an argument.
Oh.
So, like, when
That's
I was
rough,
15,
buddy.
I was just, like, awkward as fuck, and I was like, I can't speak Spanish, so I can't talk to my grandma, so I'm not going into the kitchen. But, like, for him, he's all like, oof. It's rough. His grandfather was, he was out of the house, and so once he, like, had noticed his grandpa had arrived, he had went outside and shot his grandpa, or his grandfather.
You went outside and shot him too? Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, he said that the reason why he shot his grandfather was because he didn't want him to know that his wife, Ed's grandmother, was dead and that she'd been shot. But Ed Kemper had also said that he shot his grandmother to see, quote unquote, what it felt like. No. I don't know what this boy wants.
Apathy.
He's so cute.
You know, I just really want to feel the thrill of homicide, and you're like,
murder.
Nada. Because apparently that's okay. Fuck you, Ed.
Right? So, he shot his grandparents. And then afterwards, he called his mom to be like, I fucked up. I don't know what to do. Oh my gosh.
Wonder what that phone call was like, but okay.
Right? So his mom was pretty much like, you have to turn yourself in. Like, that's fucking crazy. Like, what the fuck? And so, after his phone call with his mom, he did actually go to... Oh my gosh, no. He just, like, booked it backwards. Yeah. So he called the police afterwards and told them what happened. He was then sent to the criminally insane unit of Atascadero State Hospital. And that's where he was tested for his IQ, and that's how we know that he had such a high IQ. I know, baby. I know. I don't know what you want from me, because I'm going to sit here until I finish my story, and you're not helping me finish my story. And I know you don't really have to pee. You just saw that I went to the bathroom, and now you have a Pavlovian effect on you where you think you have to go to the bathroom. But you just went not so long ago.
But he's so cute.
He is so cute. But it's just like, It's just that like every morning when I go to the when I have to walk him, I also have to pee. So I pee first because I can't hold it in. And so he has this idea that once I go, he goes.
He associates the
I'm so
potty.
sorry. The potty is for both of us.
Those poor eyes.
I know, he's just like, take me to the bathroom.
That little tongue.
Take me to the grass.
Take me to
Right?
the green.
Take me to the green bathroom.
The godless green gaze.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So he also went through a bunch of different psychological tests and found out that he was, or Ed Kemper, found out that he also suffered from paranoid schizophrenia.
Okay.
Which also adds onto the factor of like, you have a situation where you're not getting the proper care for. You're
especially in the 60s, that'd be tricky.
Yeah, in a very hostile situation growing up. There's a lot happening.
The pieces are fitting together a bit
right?
more.
I'm like, I don't know if we've mentioned like, we don't think that there is a connection to just mental illness and crime.
Oh, no.
But it's that untreated situation of like people not being able to get that proper care and like having these
really exasperates
reactions. Yeah. I don't think that it's their fault, but it is their actions that they need to be taken account for.
Yes. I feel that's a good way to...
sense. I don't know what you want from me, sir.
I think it's more of a thing of like... what we can learn from with past serial killers. Like, okay, how could this have been prevented?
Yeah.
Like Moo's saying, yes.
Yeah. It's like, this could have been prevented from months of me not going to the bathroom first in the morning before he goes to the bathroom.
I hope we catch all of this on audio.
Usually this mic is really good at catching shit, so...
Weirdly good.
Anyways, so Ed Kemper is in there till he turns 21. He's released on his birthday in 1969. And he's taken back into the care of his mother. And so apparently there had
Sorry, you said 1969. Nice.
Yeah. Nice. Apparently there was a doctor at the prison. Sir, I understand, but I know the truth. So this doctor recommended that he does not go to his mother because of the psychological issues involving her and because of the past trauma. But nevertheless, he does go back to live with his mother for
what could go wrong,
right? She had recently moved to Santa Cruz, California, where after she had ended her third marriage, and had taken a job at the University of California.
Okay.
During that time, while he was living there, he went to community college and worked a bunch of different jobs. At a point when he was financially stable enough, he had moved out, but once money started getting tight again, he would go back and live with his mom again.
Okay. Happens.
Yeah, I'm like, I get it. Like, it happens to everyone. And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with living with your parents. Like, I live with my mom because we bought a place together. It has both our names on it. I'm not going to move out just because I have money to do it. I'm like, this is my place too.
Yeah.
Anyways, so at that time, he still had to check in with the probation psychologist.
Okay.
But because of his time at the institution that he went to when he was a child, after he had murdered his grandparents, He knew exactly what to say because he was a smart cracker.
That's right.
What, a smart cracker? Maybe I should have said smart cookie. He was a smart cookie.
He was
He
white.
was also white.
I was
so
gonna say, I'm like,
it still works. Yeah. So, at one point, Ed Kemper had also applied to be a state trooper, but he was rejected because of his size. As
really?
I said before, because he is that Charlie in the box?
Yeah.
She's never been in that box
Wait,
before.
really? I thought that was
I
hers.
have proof. Yeah, I bought it for her, and I covered it in catnip, and I put a little like cushion in it for her to be comfortable in it, and I just put it under that table.
She's having the time of her life.
I had no place else to put it right now. She's never sat in there before. Oh my! Your
daughter.
I'm gonna cry. Oh.
This is a very tear-filled episode. My God.
I'm sorry. I'm just
first gay liberation, and now Charlie sitting in a box.
Charlie's sitting in the box. It's supposed to go inside of a Calyx unit, but I don't own a Calyx unit, and so I had it anyways, doesn't matter. She's in the box. I have proof that she's in the box.
You okay there, buddy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, huh? Yeah.
Look at her. She's so cute. She's so cute.
Guys, I think we broke V. Well, I guess technically Charlie broke V.
I buy her so much stuff that she never uses. Anyways.
I think this is the point in quarantine where it starts to spiral.
I bought her a new aerating water fountain.
The pineapple one is so cute.
Yeah. I took out the pineapple because I think that made too much splashing for her, so she doesn't use it.
So cute.
So it has like a regular kind of spout, and so it slowly goes down.
Mm-hmm.
She still hasn't drank out of it.
I'm grateful.
Like, it's
Charlie.
fine. I spent $60 on a water fountain for her. It's fine.
Your daughter.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Anyways, Ed Kemper. 6'9" boy. Too big to be a state trooper, so he got rejected for it.
I feel like that'd be useful. Find people good look.
But also, he's too tall for the cars and the units.
Is that why?
That's what I'm guessing. I don't know. I didn't put too much research in this. This is Wikipedia. Okay, I'm kidding. Fair. This isn't truly Wikipedia. But it's because he was just too big of a guy that they just couldn't accept him. But they did give him a nickname as Big Ed. So
Daddy loved that.
Yeah, I guess. The thing is also, a lot of people thought he was very, since he's such a smart guy, a lot of people were, charmed by him because of it. Which is crazy.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's really weird.
Rip for her pleasure. Yeah. Guys, watch Wayne's World. Okay, continue.
So at that time, they gave him this nickname. They also let him hang around with with them. So he would chill with the police officers from Santa Cruz. And one of them apparently gave him training. A training school badge and handcuffs, and another one let him borrow his gun, which is crazy. I'm just like, why?
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm he was just everyone was really charmed by him.
I guess it was the late 60s, early 70s, but still.
And the thing is, even later on, after all the crimes that he's done, after he's been arrested and had the trial for everything, and as I mentioned before, with the BTK episode, on Mindhunter, how it's kind of based off of the FBI's interviewing people, Ed Kemper was one of the people that they interviewed.
Oh, okay.
And like even then, people were like, after everything, like when they would interview him, they were still charmed by him. I was gonna mention that later, but like
This
it's still
smart boy, I don't like it.
yeah. It's like he was just like very open about who he is. It's almost like he was very like almost introspective about himself enough to know what he was doing, which I don't know if it makes it feels like it should make it worse. So,
Yeah.
like, he knew enough to know that like I shouldn't do this stuff. I shouldn't want to do this stuff, but I'm still gonna do this stuff because I want to.
I think it makes it worse, yeah.
Yeah. Introspective people.
Yeah.
I'm very introspective because I'm a Pisces.
How's it feel?
I feel called out.
As you should.
It's true. I know when I'm being chaotic and I'm like, I know this. And I know I'm being shitty. But it's just who I am. And that's really shitty of me, so I need to work on that. Which I've tried to. Which I try to do a lot.
You're my favorite chaotic gay.
Thank you. Where was I? My phone won't let me see.
People are like, he's fucking charming, which is scary.
Yeah, and they were like, let him borrow shit.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. At one point, Ed Kemper was hit by a car while he was on his motorcycle. Like, apparently he had a motorcycle, and he got hit. And so he received a $15,000 settlement in the civil suit. And at that time, like, that's when he decided to like get a car that kind of like resembled. I can't remember if like the car that he got was the one that like actually resembles the police officers' cars at that time, or if that was before the accident. But he does get a car that resembles like the state troopers' cars and the police officers' cars.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So since he's unable to work because he's been injured by this car hitting him, he started to pursue other interests. And he started to store some tools in his car and then started
What could this lead to?
Right. Like what could happen? He decided to start picking up hitchhikers. Mostly female hitchhikers.
Boy.
Yeah. So like at first he would pick up people, take them to where they need to go, let them go, whatever. Until like his third and fourth victims were these two Fresno State students, Mary Ann Pence and Anita Luchessa.
Mm-hmm.
They had hitchhiked, and after a while, their parents called to be like, they're missing. I don't know what happened to them.
Oh, did the fucking thing happen where they're like, they're runaways? And it's like, no, they're not, because 70s.
Yeah. So the thing is, like pretty much nothing was, like they couldn't figure out anything that happened to them until August 15th, when there was a head discovered in the woods near Santa Cruz.
I'm sorry, a head?
Mm-hmm. Just the head.
So no head?
No. It's just the head. Don't worry. Just the head. Honey, don't listen to him. Don't listen. Don't.
Guys, I'm sorry, we're trying not to be
Run away. Run away.
Guys, nobody hitchhike, please. For the love of God, nobody hitchhike.
Please don't hitchhike. I hitchhiked once and I almost died.
Yeah, if you guys need a ride, call us.
Isn't that hitchhiking though?
Oh.
If they call us? Like, what if they're like,
I will be your Uber.
Pay me in Nook miles.
Pay us in Nook miles. Do you need Nook Mile tickets? I can give you Nook Mile tickets.
No, I don't use Nook Mile tickets because I barely play Animal Crossing right now.
Okay, fair.
All I do is gift Marshall stuff, and then I'm done with the game after I give him stuff, and I talk to him a couple times. Marshall's my favorite.
Fair. Your twink son, so good.
He's my boy. He's my son.
He's your boy. Okay, so he.
I love you too. I'll give you a gift later. I'll give you treats. I got treats, freshly baked treats.
So
yeah,
they
found
find
a female head in the woods near Santa Cruz, and it was later identified to be Mary Ann Pesch.
Oh,
Pesks. I don't know how to say it. I want to say Pesch. Pesce.
That sounds right.
Pesch.
Okay,
yeah. So, Anita Lucchesa, her remains, however, were never found.
Oh.
Later on, once Ed Kemper is being interviewed about this and like explaining what happened, he told them that he stabbed and strangled Pesch before stabbing Lucchesa as well. And then after the murders, he had brought the bodies back to his apartment and removed their heads and hands. And then he also had done the dirty, nasty things with them, which is disgusting. Which is a thing that he does.
Adding Ed Kemper to our hit list?
Yeah. I'm like, no matter. Well, he's alive. He's alive in prison still.
Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know. I'm coming for you, Ed, you piece of shit.
Right?
Better watch these fists.
The next story is pretty bad. Because later on that year, on September 14th, 1972, Kemper also picked up 15-year-old Aiko Ku, who had decided to hitchhike rather than wait for the bus.
Oh no.
I know you're ready to go.
Moo doesn't like it either.
I know. He wants me to stop. Yeah, so she ended up meeting that same fate. I'm not going to say much about that. So continuing on with this active murderous impulse, in 1973, in January, he picked up Cindy Shaw, whom he actually shot and killed. And then while his mom was out, Kemper went to her home and hid Shaw's body in his room. So at that time, like, he went back to living with her.
Oh my god.
He dismembered her corpse there the following day, and then he threw part of it into the ocean, and then they were later discovered when they washed back up on the shore.
Oh.
But this one, Moo, you are getting tangled in all the cables. Are you good? Do you want to... Okay, wait. I want to make sure I'm not hitting the mic with this.
Fair.
Boy does not want to sit. He's getting stuck in the cables. I'm having technical difficulty because of dog. And now he's going to jump to the bed. He jumped to the bed.
That sounds absolutely correct.
Right? So, for Cindy Shaw, Ed Kemper had decided to bury her head facing his mother's window in the backyard.
Yes, Moo. I feel this way as well.
Sir. I get it. I'm almost done. I promise. On February 5th, 1973, Kemper used a campsite parking sticker his mother had given him to facilitate a double murder.
Oh, that's right.
They drove to the university and offered a ride to two students, Rosalind Thorpe and Alice Liu. I know.
That's because
so bad.
the university was like, guys, don't take rides from strangers. And then he got a fucking university sticker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is fucked up.
I know.
Yeah, Mood is fucked up.
It is so fucked up. You gotta keep licking my hand.
I'm gonna call this episode Mood's Revenge.
Mood's Revenge, because he needs to go.
No pot. The pooper scooper law in Moo's Revenge.
The pooper scooper and Moo's Revenge. Why are you so cute?
Thought this is a gay episode? No, it's a dog episode.
It's a dog episode.
Yeah.
Sir? Please, give me 15 minutes. Give me 15 minutes. Okay. So, after picking them up, he quickly shot the two young women, then drove past the campus security at the gate with the two mortally wounded women in his car. Oh. And after the murder, he decapitated the two victims and further dismembered their bodies, removed the bullets from their heads, and disposed of their parts in different locations.
I'm mad that he was smart enough to remove the bullets.
Yeah. It's what's crazy is he's so smart up there. And I'm like, I don't understand how.
It makes me mad.
Moo is mad. Look at him be mad.
Oh no! So he's killed.
That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Is that 7?
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, that's 7 too many.
Yeah. So that's 5 and then 2 family members.
That's right.
So I said that wrong earlier because he killed 6 and then family members. Okay. So at the same time that Ed Kemper was killing these people, there was also 2 other serial killers at that time that were doing their thing. So
Ted Bundy?
No. In the same area.
Oh.
John Linley Fraser and Hubert Mullins. So Santa Cruz. No, none of those. So Santa Cruz was nicknamed the murder capital of the world in the press. And so Ed Kemper then was dubbed as the co-ed killer and the co-ed butcher.
Because he mostly was taking kind of school age girls, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, I got the last 2 murders for you.
Okay. Ready.
Okay. We're ready.
I'm nervous, but I'm ready.
We know if you know a little bit of Ed Kemper, you know what's coming up. These are famous ones.
Yeah. I forgot, and then I remembered, and then I regret.
Yeah. Let's drink that. But I can't drink too much because I gotta walk my dog.
Fair.
So, April 1973. We're getting to the nasty, dirty bits. The last bits of this story. Oh, who liked my... Okay. I got a notification on my phone. I'm like, how dare they like my messages? April 1973. On Good Friday.
Well, so good, wasn't it?
Apparently. But maybe it was good for Ed. Because he went to his mother's home. And they had fought, as they probably would on occasions, because they didn't have a good relationship, which is sad. It happens to a lot of us. We don't always have the greatest relationship with family, but it doesn't mean that you can just attack them when they're asleep, which he did.
I didn't know. Okay.
So first, he striked her in the head with a hammer, and then cut her throat with a knife. Then, like he's done multiple times, he's decapitated her and cut off her hands. He also cut out her tongue and the larynx.
What the fuck?
And he tried to place them down the garbage disposal. But it got clogged and they both wouldn't go down. And he was kind of like, when he talked about it, he's like, that seems appropriate. That's what he said about his mother not being able to get her larynx and tongue down the disposal. So that seemed appropriate, as much as she'd bitched and screamed and yelled at me over so many years. That's what he said about it.
That's rough, buddy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the disposal couldn't get rid of the tissues, and it just spit back the remains of her in the sink. And I'm like, that's nasty.
Fucking nasty.
So after he hid his mother's body parts, Ed Kemper, his boy, he called over his mother's friend, Sally Hallett.
Oh.
Yep. He invited her over to the house, and then Kemper had strangled her shortly after she arrived and hid her body in a closet.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. It's disgusting. After she had died and he hid her body, Ed stole her car. He drove to Colorado, but after not hearing any news about the murders, he ended up calling the police from a phone booth to confess to murdering them.
What?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, there's something about this, and like, at least he calls it in, but I'm like, none of this is good. None of this is right.
No.
So Kemper fled that area the next day, driving east until he reached
Me too.
Pueblo, Colorado. I don't know how I said that. Colorado. I said it weird the first time. And he made a call to the Santa Cruz police to confess to his crimes again. At first, they did not believe that the guy they knew as "quote unquote" Big Ed was the killer. But during the interrogation that they had with him, he would lead them to all the evidence that they needed to prove that he was in fact the co-ed killer. So he called his buddies. He was all like, "Hey, yo, I killed people," and they're like, "Big Ed, no, you didn't."
Scallywag.
That's funny.
He's really,
and then he was like,
kidder.
He's like, "No, for real. Like, here's all the dead body parts." And he's like, "Oh shit. So
it's really good Halloween decorations we got here, Big Ed.
Right? So Kemper joyfully shows the cops where he buried the bodies of the victims.
Oh my god.
Yeah. When they asked why he turned himself in, Kemper said, quote, "The original purpose was gone. I just said, to hell with it, and called it all off." After he finally murdered his mother, he's all like, I'm done. I did everything I've wanted to do.
See, that's fascinating to me because I can't think of another instance where that's happened.
This kid had such a traumatic childhood, and he has to deal with this mental illness at the same time, and then had like all these dark fantasies, and he's always wanted to kill her. And now that he's done it, he's all like, there's no point in this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. So pretty much he was charged with 8 counts of first-degree murder, and Ed Kemper went on trial for his crimes in October of 1973. He was found guilty on all charges. No surprises there. When he was asked what when he was asked what he thought his punishment should be, Kemper said that he should be tortured to death, which is, yeah.
He's a very interesting case. Like,
I like how introspective he is. Like,
yeah,
I can tell that he knows
weird.
what he's doing. He understands what the morality of it. And it's like he's been tortured his whole life, psychologically and physically, possibly. Like, being locked in a basement counts as physical torture, right?
Yeah.
Like,
it's abuse.
He's been abused for so long. Like, obviously, well, not obviously. Like, there could have been many different routes that he could have taken instead. But to see where this route had taken him, to him being like, I should deal with I've dealt abuse now, and I deserve to be tortured.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It's, as far as serial killers go, it's definitely not the norm. As far as,
yeah. Usually they're very egotistical. They don't think they can get caught. They don't think that they'll get charged with anything.
Exactly.
They're chasing that, what's it called?
I mean, they think they're smarter than anyone else. Yeah.
Yeah. They're chasing that high, the adrenaline of, like, going against the investigators, trying to find their next victim, trying to perfect this art. Ed Kemper pretty much had, like, a mission, be like, I'm going to figure out how to do this until I get to this point.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I've done this, I'm going to get out, but no one said anything about it. And I'm going to bring myself into this and be like, this is what I've done. This is all I need to do. Take me. It's crazy.
It's, yeah, psychologically, it's fascinating. I don't know.
Yeah. Which is, like,
it's weird. It's weird.
I'm really glad that, like, he's easy to talk to about about his situation too.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ed Kemper had attempted suicide at least twice, and even requested the death penalty.
Oh wow!
Instead, he received 8 concurrent life sentences, and right now, I think still he's serving his time at the California Medical Facility in Vacaville. So over there, he's been imprisoned alongside Herbert Mullen and, like, Charles Manson.
Oh wow!
Yeah. While in prison, Kemper willingly participates in a bunch of interviews from reporters and law enforcement. And kind of like how I talked about, like, before in the BTK episode, like the show Mindhunter, like, based off of, like, the book that's, like, based on, like, FBI interviewing serial killers to be able to learn how to do profiling. And, like, I only watched till the Ed Kemper part, and then my attention span died. But, like, it's fascinating because, like, the actor who plays him too is so charismatic too that I was like, huh. I see. I get it.
I can appreciate him giving interviews, especially if it is, like, for the sake of profiling and
yeah. And I think that's also a thing with, like, introspective people is, like, we like to talk about our process because it also helps us inspect what we're what we're thinking and talking about.
Yeah.
Because I used to do that all the time. I would go to coffee shops and just talk about how I think my mind works and how I think some other people's minds might work and how what I do affects everything else around me and like how I think affects what I want to do and what I do.
This is why we have a podcast.
Introverts, we get it.
Tee-hee-hee-hee.
Yeah, so Ed Kemper, he's been shown to like enjoy having a smoke with detectives, and like apparently he had a very amicable attitude that would fool almost everyone, and had even investigators enjoying his company, which I said before. Like
Which is crazy to me.
he was charismatic to an extent. Like I think he was just like smart enough to know how to have a conversation with people, and to make people not just think of like the craziness, like make him more personable. Which is the crazy part about this, is like it is a very personable, because like most serial killers have like a sociopathic tendency that isn't controlled by like that isn't controlled in some way. It isn't being maintained in some way, whether by themselves or with medication or whatever. Like they just let it go crazy until it's an egotistical race to be the biggest thing.
Number one.
Mm-hmm.
I like how you have like two sides of the coin, like charismatic wise.
Yeah.
In this episode, it's been interesting.
It's like
fucking weird.
It's so crazy. Like that's what's so interesting about him, is like he's done terrible, terrible things. Yet why is he such a likable person?
That's the part that
like I don't think I personally like him, but like I'm intrigued by him. I think that's
definitely
the thing,
more
is
like
not
fascinating as far as like,
he's
studying.
I would definitely love to have a conversation with him, smoke some weed, and just be like, what's going on?
Could see that.
I don't even smoke weed, but I'd be like, let's just do this and like figure out what's happening.
Let's crack into this.
Right? Yeah. Like I said before, like his testimony and like on his state of mind and stuff was integral to law enforcement figuring out the minds of serial killer and being able to figure out profiling killers. And apparently he's also became a model prisoner in the facility, or he is in charge of scheduling other inmates' appointments with psychiatrists, and has spent over 5,000 hours narrating books on tape for the blind.
I have mixed feelings, because terrible, terrible, terrible things that he did. And then B,
intriguing.
Yeah. Like, I'm glad he is narrating tapes for the blind.
I'm glad he's doing something that's kind of positive.
Yeah.
But I'm just like,
I don't think that negates anything, but I think it's...
Yeah. I'm like, he's still a terrible person.
Oh, entirely. Yeah.
But it's nice that he's doing something kind of nice and good. Like, it is a good thing to be able to help narrate books.
I could give him some, like, fake-ass brownie points, if you want. You feel?
Yeah. So that's my story on Ed Kemper.
Damn!
I try to keep it short. It was not short.
But,
because of my dog.
But I feel.
He disappeared.
I had no idea how fucking charismatic this guy was. And I didn't realize that he stopped after.
Yeah. He called himself in because he was like, I don't know what to do about this. And it's like, well, I've done what I wanted to do this whole time, which is and I think like as an introspective person myself, I can kind of understand not why he did it, but like how that kind of mentality kind of works on how like he kind of stopped and like was like, okay, like there's nothing more for me to do if I went through all this trauma as a child. And I fantasized about this one specific moment and I've gotten it. And I'm like, there is nothing else I want.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to go for. There's no, like, I don't care about living free anymore. I've gotten my freedom from ridding myself of this torture that I've dealt with as a child that had locked me up inside. So, I don't know.
It's just crazy.
That I would ever kill anyone. Yeah.
I trust you.
Thank you. I'm like, I wouldn't do it. But I'm like, I can kind of see where he comes from in that kind of mentality of like, this is it. I'm done. Like, I think that the friend afterwards was like an overkill for sure.
Yeah,
I think everyone, including his mother, is an overkill of everything. But it's very interesting for sure. Like, I really just want to get him high and just talk to him. Maybe I don't need to be high. I just want to get him high and talk to him.
Okay, you get high with Ed Kemper. I'll go get high with Harvey Milk. Have fun time.
Yes.
Yes, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he was pro weed. I love Harvey Milk. Nice. Fun episode. I liked our overlapping theme.
Yeah, it's like that. Like, where does morality stand? Like, does it make them a good person still, even if they've done shitty things, or are they still a terrible person even if they're doing some kind of good things?
That's a good point.
Yeah,
guys, what do you think? You enjoyed our introspective episode?
I still think Ed Kemper is a piece of shit.
Oh, entirely.
Like, he didn't need to do all that shit, but I just want to understand his mind even more so.
I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys have anything to take away from this episode, remember that Harvey Milk was a weeaboo, and
he was.
Ed Kemper was 6'9". It's too fucking tall.
He did nasty things to those skulls, and I'm not happy with that. Yeah, I was gonna keep that all out, but I was like, ugh. Yeah, he did nasty things even to his mother's skull.
That is the part I do remember, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's a thing that a lot of people know about it, and I'm like, I don't need to go into details about it. I'm just like, that's gross and disgusting to every skull out there. Don't do that. Don't stick anything in there.
Don't do that. Yes, just don't fuck. Thank you for the gift that is our podcast.
I am drunk and I need to go walk my dog, and I'm almost out of water. So,
well, if you guys want to get in contact with us, if you guys want to tell a spooky story, or if you want to say, yeah, Harvey Milk was cooler, fuck co-ed killer, but also talk about psychology with us, you can email us at tipsymysteries@gmail.com.
Hell yeah. Talk to us. You
can also find us on Twitter, Instagram, sometimes Facebook. I'm so sorry.
Sometimes Facebook.
But YouTube now at Tipsy Mysteries.
We're on YouTube.
That's
true.
Do you have a song recommendation request, whatever the fuck we call it?
Our song recommendation request. In lieu of all the K-pop albums that I've bought recently, they were mostly Mamamoo.
There was a lot of Mamamoo
album. I love Mamamoo. They are my favorite girl group right now. They are so good. Going in the theme of like LGBT-ish, I will go with Soar by Wheein, who is a member of Mamamoo. She has a music video that is kind of LGBT hinted, which is so beautiful, and the song is so beautiful. Like, I know in South Korea it is a very taboo thing it can destroy a lot of people's careers.
Careers
and lives. I'm not saying in any way that they are queer in any way, because I do not know. I can't speak for them. I'm not someone that can out them in any way. If they are, and if they're not, then I'm glad that they support their queer fans. And the message in Soar I just really like, and I like the music video a lot too. So it's very heartbreaking and beautiful. So yeah, I'll do Soar by Wheein.
Oh damn. See, in the honor of gays, Yeah, I'll do my favorite Haley Kiyoko song, which is Sleepover. Dig that one. It's a good one. It's a good one. Solemn gaze.
Yeah.
Do you have any parting words of advice, V-san?
Other than don't fuck?
Then don't fuck from Doll Baby San.
Baby San.
It was literally Doll Baby San, one word, and then below that, Harvey San. Again, one word.
I think I'm good on
nothing from V-san.
Nothing else from V-san. I'm good. I'm gonna go walk my dog.
Okay, hope you guys have a good rest of the morning, midday, night. Midnight? Is it the witching hour? Ooh.
Are you eating chips very loudly by yourself during the witching hour? We're here with you to eat chips with you. I'm out of chips, actually, but
it's okay.
I was there with you. I accept you for however you want to chew.
All I can hear is in the background.
He's ready. He knows it's the end.
He knows it's time.
He knows it's time.
All right, well, we will see you guys on the flip side.
Yeah!
Yeah. I think that's all.
Have a good time wherever you are. Be safe. Stay safe. Stay sane. Stay cool. Do your best during this time. Be careful. Yeah, be careful. Yeah, we love you guys. Have a good time. Talk to you later. Bye. Bye.